dudes rock. That's all you need to know. Just in time for Father's Day, we're doing a draft, and it's been a while. It's me, your boy C, the host of this here draft. We're drafting action movie scenes. Man, just what gets the pulse pounding? What do you talk about with your buddies when you're at the bar? What's the coolest scenes? We're going to try to draft to figure out what is going on. And I have brought a couple of veterans, a couple of newbies, and maybe one in between here. So let's see who else we got on the board here. We have our battle-hardened, war-weary vet, Jermone Juicy J Satisfaction Jackson, the former Test Your Might trivia champ. How are you doing today, sir?
Inaugural Test Your Might trivia.
Okay, just the inaugural. I just wanted to make sure that was noted. But how are you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing well, sir. Doing well.
All right, are you ready to get your draft on?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Also, we have a battle-hardened draft veteran, the Test Your Might champ, two-time draft champ, Mr. Brian Martin. How are you, good sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. Feeling good. Feeling great.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
A man who,
looking great, feeling great.
The man who, as of this time yesterday, did not have a list ready to go.
No, as of 2 hours ago, when you sent that little 2-hour reminder, I was like, oh, right. Better get a list together.
This is going to be interesting. Also, we have returning to the draft for the first time in a while, a man who, in his own rights, just won his own draft over on Geekcast Live. We have Geekcast Ryan. How are you doing today, sir?
I am fucking ready. Can we? This is a family show.
This is a family show, and you can cuss on this family show.
Whoa!
Which is why
we all got families.
We all got families.
We're living in a Shane Black script.
We're living in it's Christmas, apparently. And that last voice you just heard there is our newest draft member. Chris, how do you pronounce your last name? Is it Gervais?
Gervais.
Gervais. Oh, it sounds French.
Yeah. It does sound French. Man, we like that. We like to look at that S. We just don't want to hear from it. You know what
I'm saying? Chris, you're new to this whole shebang bang, man. How are you?
I am.
How are you
no
feeling? Yeah, no one ever does. Did you create a list? Are you satisfied with the selections that you have?
I wouldn't say that. I mostly am. I struggle with superhero fight scenes because I usually don't like them.
You usually don't like superhero movies or superhero fight scenes in particular.
I love superhero movies. 9 out of 10 times, I feel like the climax of superhero movies are like they got your money and they're like, just throw some CG at it. We're done.
All right then. All right.
Yeah,
I struggle to figure that out.
Yeah,
that was definitely something I felt as I was coming up with options here. Like most of them, like most memorable MCU movies I could think of, I was like, wait, no, that nobody likes that fight scene though.
Yeah.
Yep. When I thought this idea up, I was like, well, that's going to be the easiest one, man. We all like superhero movies. And the more I started thinking about it, I was like, no, not that movie. Not that movie either.
A lot of memorable action happens like in the second act of the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like Black Panther, like is a great movie, but nobody really likes that last weird CG train fight thing.
No.
You know?
Yeah, and at least they remember it though. Like I always think Wonder Woman is like such a good movie, and describe anything from that final battle to me. Tell me anything you remember.
Bad CGI.
Remus Lupin was the bad guy the whole time.
I thought Ares has no chin, which is weird to cast David Thewlis as Ares.
Porn stashes everywhere.
Hang on. I'll be right back. I gotta go get something real quick. I just noticed.
Oh boy!
I hope he's going to get his porn stash.
Oh, I thought he was going to go get the David.
I hope
Thewlis.
he fucking comes back and he's putting it on.
Just the mustache you've ever seen.
It's an obvious like. It's hard plastic.
He just printed it on his HP.
It's not even a 3D printer.
Right.
It's just
He's got to wear it. He's got to wear it in his teeth to keep it where
it's. So we're drafting not action movies. We've done that before. We are drafting specifically scenes, some of our favorite scenes from action movies. Right after Brian serenades us with his acoustic guitar, which I'm not sure why he pulled that out.
Well, I couldn't be I didn't want to be the only white guy without a guitar in the background.
Oh yeah, that's important. mine's worse. Mine's way worse. It's a banjo.
Banjo? What is that you have, Ryan? Is that like a ukulele or it's another acoustic? Oh, okay.
Hello and welcome to a show we call Daryl and his exciting whites.
Jermone, we're just out of the loop on this one, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Jermone's holding an Oscar, so I guess we really have all.
I want to see what Spider-Man trivia.
we all brought props today.
To the Marvel Oscar.
Marvel
it's a major award.
All right. We need to figure out what
a major award.
What our draft order is going to be here. So let's get this figured out. There are 5 of us. Drafting first will be Ryan Elliott.
Oh wow.
Yes. Manifest your own fucking destiny, boys.
Wow.
I'm impressed. All right, going number 2, we have Jermone Jackson.
I can live with it.
He can live with it, he says. The man is confident in the
I have so much pressure now on my shoulders.
Yeah, you do. The 3 spot.
I didn't want this pick.
Not liking how this is turning out. The 3 spot goes to Brian Martin.
Okay. All right. I can still get one good thing.
Yeah, the choices that I have are already not looking good. All right, it's between me and you, Chris, and it appears that I will be penultimate, and Chris, you will be on the turn.
You damn snakes.
Boy.
The snake. All right, then. So what we are doing is what we call a snake draft. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for round 1, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for round 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for round 3, and it'll snake round and around and around until we get to the very end. Chris, we got you in case you get lost in anything. All right. So the categories that we will be drafting for, we'll be drafting 2 shootouts, 2 chase scenes. That could be car chase, boat chase, airplane chase, foot race if you want. 2 face-to-face fight scenes, 2 superhero fight scenes, and 2 wild cards that can be any kind of action whatsoever. That being said, Geekcast Rye, you are on the board with the first choice.
I didn't want this pick. I really didn't. I feel like I'm going to bungle it.
You probably.
No. Come on, you got it.
I think there's 2 options. I'm going to go with my brain and not my heart. My first pick is going to be the shootout scene from Michael Mann's Heat.
God damn it. Well,
I knew
right
that was
off the
going.
board.
I knew that was going immediately.
It wasn't my. I really didn't want to do it, but I think it's the right choice. It's the correct choice.
Is this the best shootout of all time?
It's in the conversation for sure.
If it's a category that we need to fill, it would be wrong not to fill it right now with the first overall pick.
I 100% agree. I went back and I rewatched it earlier today. Chris, what's your thoughts on Heat?
I haven't seen Heat in a very long time, but I know that's an amazing scene. I'm curious though. You're saying you understand that it's a great scene, but like you don't have an emotional bond with it or something is what you're saying? You don't feel it? Because you said you didn't want to pick it.
It was your soul sleep, right?
Ultimately, the voting public for this is a little group of people called Paprika.
Oh, you're playing your audience.
Oh, yeah.
Paprikans will always Paprika. And while I feel that Heat has a very does have a lofty place in Paprika, I think there could have been a pick I could have made that would have secured me a better like Paprika punch up at the voting box.
I don't know.
Gets one win under his belt and he's greedy for more.
So you took the high road is what you're saying.
I took the high road, yes. Which is unlike me. So
all right, right on.
I didn't have it on my list because I knew that was one of Daryl's tells, basically. Like
he said, what draft can I put together that would allow me to pick the shootout from Heat?
Yes.
When I made this draft, that was the very first thing I wrote down. Brian, before we move on to Jermone, do you have any words on one of the greatest shootouts in cinematic history?
I mean, it was number 1 on my list to draft.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well,
that's
we're all pissed at Ryan.
Well, that's it. I think there are 2, like, and knowing that Jermone is next, right?
Yeah.
In draft order. So I feel like my top 2 picks will be gone after Jermone's turn.
Okay. It'll be interesting to know if my other option that I was volleying about is the next pick. I will be
interested.
Oh yeah.
I guess that brings up the question. Are we going down the line here? We're doing this in order?
No. We can't do it in order.
Damn it, Jermone. Yes, for those listening and for you, Chris, since you're new to this, there is no order to this. If you want to start with a superhero fight, or if you want to start with your wild card, or you want to start with the chase scene, it is all up to you what order you want to go, as long as you have everything filled out by the end, no matter what order you want to go in. It's all up to you.
Okay, cool.
Good old running gag.
Good old running gag. Thank you, Jermone, for reminding me of that ridiculous running gag that we have. That being said, it is on you. You're on the board. What's your first pick?
So being that Heat was already taken off the board, I'm gonna have to go ahead and secure one of these shootouts right now.
Okay.
The only other one I can even think of right now, like the first thing that came to mind, the Matrix lobby shootout.
That's it. That's number 2.
Yeah.
That was my 1 and 2.
Yep.
It's probably one of the most memorable scenes in the original Matrix.
In the Matrix film series.
Yeah, in a series of memorable scenes. Like
that is the movie to some people.
Yeah, I remember my sister's boyfriend at the time, the guy she was dating when that DVD came out. He would just buy it and throw it into the DVD player and skip straight to that scene and would just play that one scene over and over and over and over again, as you do.
Yeah, you knew you were in for something when you get to even for where it starts off with them going through the metal detectors, and they're not trying to hide shit. They just open the coats up and guns everywhere. It's like, holy shit! It's like, then it's on. Down.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Great score.
It's funny because that you point that out. It really is one of the greatest shootouts of all time because it proliferates. I can't speak. It is like a song. I mean, there's literally a song there, but like you were saying that, somebody that just goes straight to that scene and watches over and over because it's like a pop song or something. You love that scene and you feel good when you watch it.
Agreed. Real quick question, Chris. What does your shirt say?
Oh, Santa Cruz Guitar Company.
Man went out to California. He's been there for a month, and he's already gone native.
You can only wear clothes with California stuff on it.
Oh, it's the rule out there.
Yeah.
Ryan, where was the Lobby shootout on your list? Was it on your list?
Not on my list.
What?
Interesting.
Oh boy.
It was it was the same thing. I didn't even bother. It was going to be picked before I had a chance to pick it, so I figured I would try to spend my time finding other options.
Okay, there's strategies here. So Brian, it's safe to say that your first 2 choices are now off the board as far as shootouts.
Yes.
I knew those 2 were going to go immediately. That was a no-brainer. Like,
oh boy, I really hate all you guys already.
I gotta be honest, the rest of my shootouts, my choices, I'm not particularly scared about them being snatched up, so I'm probably just going to bail on the shootout category here.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing
and move on to something.
This is all right. Speaking of which, it's on you, sir.
Okay.
This is the face of a man whose day is already fucked.
Already,
it is. I'm drafting Mad Max Fury Road as my chase.
Wait a minute. No, did he not? Was he not here? When
he wasn't here for the pre-show. He already had this out, man.
Yes, we are not drafting the entirety of Fury Road as a chase scene, sir.
That is ridiculous.
We all thought it.
I'm against it. But anyway, all right. So I'm drafting the initial chase scene from Mad Max Fury Road, the blood bag sequence.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it you talking about like the chase where they get Max?
Yeah, when he's strapped to the front of the to the hood.
Yeah.
That scene.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Yeah, there's so much going on. Okay.
It is the most aggressive. This is where we're at. This is what we're doing. Opening scene that movie could have possibly had.
Agreed. By the time we hit the end of this scene, I was like, this first 30 minutes of this movie should win an Oscar for best first 30 minutes of a movie. I'm not sure that's a category or not.
Like, okay, so we're done, right? Oh, we're not done. We're gonna keep going.
A great Oscar category that would be.
Great.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, best big
Best first
open.
act.
Yeah. And you know,
Oscar winner, Way of the Gun.
Best third
Fury
act.
Road has that distinction of, granted, it's a movie that he got to develop for 20 years, but it had that distinction of opening so big, so intense. But truly, you can't say that there's this stark difference between that and then like everything else you get, to Morton Joe's face getting ripped off at the climax. I mean, every single chase scene it lives up to it. Like I mean, I'm a Spielberg and I live for Spielberg and everything, but like Saving Private Ryan, wonderful, wonderful movie. But the thing that makes that opening great, it lives in that opening and it never really truly comes back. Fury Road it tells you what it's going to do, and it just pummels you with it until the credits.
100% agreed.
Pummels you is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, with both like the action and the score. I think it's like Junkie XL did that score.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bum,
Yeah,
bum,
it
bum,
is.
bum, 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 bum. Jermone, you got anything on Fury Road?
Oh, love it. That was one of those ones, like there are very few movies that I was like, well, after watching it, I'm like, I regret not seeing this on the big screen. That was one of them.
Yeah, agreed. Ryan, did you get to see this on the big screen, sir?
Yeah, of course. Thank God.
Thank God for theaters.
I saw it like 4 times, I think, in the initial month that it came out at the Downtown Disney AMC.
Nice. Yeah,
When
it's worth the trip, multiple trips.
When I bought my surround sound system and everything for my TV, when I built my house, it was the very first movie that we watched, and it was all the way up, and it was fucking deal with it.
Fucking deal with it. Right on. That is a good like test your sound system movie.
Absolutely.
Over to me. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Speaking of test your sound system, I think I'm gonna get my first chase sequence. And I'm going with the chase scene from The Batman.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
The Batman. Yeah, when we finally see the
patents in the
Batmobile.
Batman, yeah.
Yes, the patents in the Batman. Batman chasing Penguin through the streets of Gotham in the rain on water-slicked roads, and you get a Batmobile that's finally just a car. It's just a souped-up muscle car, and it is, when I was watching in theaters for the first time, it's when I knew that I was going to blow out my sound bar and my subwoofer one day. And the day that hit on 4K, I tried to do exactly that. I turned that bitch up as high as it could go, and I just reveled in it because it is such a good scene. It's not like Batman's or Ben Affleck's joint where it's just a literal tank blowing through everything like BVS, or even the Christian Bale kind of like a tank too. It's just a souped up muscle car, and the sound design on that souped up muscle car is beautiful to listen to. Brian, do you have anything on the chase sequence from The Batman?
I mean, it was so good it was in the trailer, and then it was even better in the movie. I mean, it's like that we didn't think the trailer made it look great, and then the movie made it look better.
That's all you can say about it. Any of you other fellas got anything to say about The Batman before we move on?
It was it was my number one chase scene on my list today. Thank you very much.
To say, you are quite welcome, my man. You stole one of mine, so I get to steal one of yours. I feel like we are square now. Were you gonna say something, Chris?
Yeah, I just totally agree with you. Like the fact that it was like a muscle car, and that it was really, the sounds weren't like techno Batmobile sounds. This was just a muscle car chugging, and the fact that everything about that movie feels like we've seen Batman 1,000 times. Why even bother trying to do anything new? Because you can't. And then it continually did do that and succeed at it, and often it was in a really fundamental way where it's like, oh yeah, duh, we need like a muscle car, 60s loud engine scene.
It
like
made
a
it kind
Steve
of made
McQueen
sense.
type car.
Yeah, it kind of made sense for a Batman just starting out too, because like he wouldn't have this super technological like thing yet. He's just starting from scratch, basically.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Batman Year 2, right?
Just a rich guy with a real nice car.
Right.
He's got to put a real nice. That's the name of my autobiography. Strangely enough, either though I'm not rich nor have a real nice car. All right, Chris, you are going to end our first round and then begin our second round. Your first pick ever in a Paprika draft. My word of advice to you, sir, is to not fuck this up.
Oh, well, so I realize now the strategy is and why you were telling me you don't have to go in order. The point is to get out ahead here. And if I have anything I think might get taken, get that out front.
Yep.
So most of mine won't, but I think the only possibility I have is in the hand-to-hand fight, the corridor scene from Old Boy.
Oh,
Ooh,
goddamn.
yes.
That's
Well done. I think if your very first choice gets a ooh, you've done all right for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Good job. Good job.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
That was on my
that's
list.
nice. Okay, good. I'm glad you said before we started, you said that it wasn't literally like slapping. If you couldn't have weapons, it definitely would have been Will Smith versus Chris Rock on the Oscars. That would have been my
The best 10 seconds ever projected on the television.
There is a hammer in the Old Boy scene.
Yes, there is. Talk about it. What is it about this fight that everybody loves so much?
I mean, I think a large part of it is, well, you have that movie is so good at buying you into the character and wanting you to go, you totally go with him. You want him to get revenge. Like you want it. And that's the most important thing I think you can earn in a story. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't even matter where you take us if you made us bought in. It really doesn't matter. And we wanted him to win. And then as if we don't already feel he's justified in everything he's doing, he asked for the people who are the right blood type to take the guy that's bleeding away. Yep. I'm like, we're already bought in. What a good dude. He's about to slaughter these people. So I think the basic storytelling is so high. And then when it cuts to that set they built that looks like it looks like you're playing Street Fighter or Bad Dude. It looks like you're playing Bad Dudes. That's such a visual thriller and stunning thing that it's just a masterpiece of a fight scene.
I agree. Ryan, let me ask you a question real quick. You're in a hallway filled with dudes who want to kick the shit out of you, and you have just a hammer. How long do you think you're going to last in this fight?
It depends on whether or not the hammer gets stuck. If the hammer gets stuck in some dude's head, it might be all over for Brian.
Okay.
If I have to like step on, I'm picturing like I'm stepping on the carcass and trying to yank the hammer out of the head, like got a little hung up on the skull.
Just give me a second here, fellas. What about you, Ryan?
I'm saying what you need is a hammer and an axe, so that if it gets stuck, you chop the guy's head off, and then
you just start hitting him with the head.
The head on a stick.
Head
on a stick. How many people are you going to make it through?
I am either done immediately or I walk out of there. There is no there's no it's
everybody.
It's the same with any apocalypse. I either die of old age in the zombie apocalypse or I am dead within minutes of the outbreak. There is no middle ground for me. Yeah.
All right.
Hot and cold.
Hot and cold.
Best part about that fight, by the way, is that it actually focuses on pain and they actually show. I mean, there's a focus on the pain dealt out during the fight. It's not just I can keep fighting without feeling anything. There's dudes that actually have to take a break because they're like, fucking hold on. We're fucking hurting. Give us a second.
I love it when a fight scene ends with just a bunch of dudes groaning on the floor.
Yeah, I really think some of those scenes from the Daredevil series, were inspired by that.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Agreed. Especially that season 1 hallway fight.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
All right. That is the end of round 1. Chris, the next choice is yours yet again as we go backwards, and you start us for round 2, sir.
Okay, so let me see. I don't really have to protect the rest of them. Like I said, I don't know that you're gonna have to. We can go wild card.
Maybe.
Sure. Hold on.
Wherever you want.
Let me be strategic. I'm going to go back just in case. I'm going to play it safe. Maybe I'm going to go to shootout and I'm going to do the Inglourious Bastards tavern scene.
I thought about it and I was like, is this a shootout? There's like a total of like, there's.
Well, that's the thing.
There were guns going off.
He literally. It's one of the few examples. I think we have our proof is in the pudding. Brad Pitt literally says this is a Mexican standoff.
It's true.
Yeah.
He literally
That's
says it.
true.
So he calls it. It's a shootout. But then that's the thing though, is I love it because it starts with playing a game, and it's that Tarantino is so good at those scenes that just ramp up and up and up and then explode. And I think he really, the opening of Inglourious Bastards is great at that. And then he really does it in, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be other Tarantino scenes in this, but yeah, I love how it's this, I feel like that lead up, you don't know where the dialogue character scene stops and the fight scene begins, kind of, I love that about it.
Yeah, I think one thing Tarantino, recently has gotten really good at is a protracted buildup to a very short burst of violence.
Yeah.
And that it's one of his signatures at this point.
Took him a long time to get there. Like when you watch Reservoir Dogs, it's just like a bunch of violence. It's
Yeah.
like really slow violence.
But then
I'm
you
pretty
feel
sure.
it.
Yeah.
I would say you feel it like at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's just an orgy that goes
Yes.
on and on and on of violence. It just on and on and on. You think you've seen it all, and then there's a flamethrower.
Jermone, would you be caught dead in this tavern during World War II?
Absolutely not, because it's World War II. I wouldn't be welcome in there in the first place.
Also didn't have a good bar menu.
Right. All right, where are the shareables?
No garlic knots in here. I'm out of this place. Hello, Von
What?
Hammer's
No
Bar.
garlic knots.
Everybody put your guns away. There's no garlic
literally, yeah.
Or take your guns out. There's no garlic nuts.
Yeah, literally, the second I walk into there and see the swastikas and SS uniforms, I was like, oh, nope.
Nope. Sorry, fellas.
There's Chipotle around here. I'm not like
delivering the papers. That's all. All right, good call on the shootouts. All right, bastards. Damn. All right,
Two good picks. I thought Chris's first pick was going to be the vehicle chase, and it was going to be the final chase scene from E.T.
Oh wow, that would have been.
I thought if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Chris.
I know, dang, that would have been a good pick. From here, it gets. I think those are the only ones that had any threat of people taking.
An unconventional chase scene, though. I like that.
I do like that. All right. Yeah, we're talking about face-to-face fights.
Pop up in here when you think about chase scenes.
No, it doesn't. Maybe there's a reason it shouldn't pop up in there when you think about best chases. I'm going to take my first face-to-face, hand-to-hand, whatever we're going to call it here, and I'm going to take the final fight from The Raid.
Are you talking the Raid 2 or the Raid 1?
The Raid 2. I'm going to go with the kitchen fight.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Man, that's so brutal. When my brother hadn't seen either Raid movie, and that's the first thing I played for him, I just said, just look at this. You will want to watch all of this.
Yeah, and now
just
make your
look
decision.
at this.
I think it's one of the finest choreographed fight scenes of just two dudes slugging it out. And there's I love it when you have a gleeful villain in the movie, and you can tell the bad guy is kind of enjoying this, like he's been looking forward to this showdown. And then it's just hands and feet and knives and knuckles and every other manner of violence that you can consider two dudes to bring upon each other in a movie. Who else for the field out there? Who else? Does anyone not fuck with The Raid? Silence. That's what I'd like to hear.
Exactly.
It's a total blind spot for me. See,
you've never seen either one of The Raids?
Never seen it. Nope.
Now, is that a
huge blind spot?
Around to
admittedly,
it?
I just have never. Yes.
More on that
funny.
later.
I would say it's funny.
Oh boy.
No, I've seen the first one. I haven't finished the second.
Okay.
Then now, when you do watch it, it's funny because now you're gonna have that effect of like when you hear the Beatles and you're for the first time ever, and you're like, oh, this is every song I've heard for the past 50 years. Like that's how The Raid is. It's like you've seen it all now in other movies.
Yeah, it's like young people trying to watch Citizen Kane now. Like, yeah, I've seen all these shots, and you're like, yeah, you don't realize that all these shots did not exist before this movie existed. My friend, you are in for a treat when you watch those movies. Brian, back over to you, sir. What are we doing?
I'm gonna pick a superhero fight.
I don't like this.
No, you do.
Go.
First one taken, yeah.
Yep.
I'm going with the Cap versus Bucky street fight, which also included knife flipping from Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Nice.
That was on my list.
Yeah, I thought that might show up.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Good pick.
That's like the only
solid
good
pick.
one. It's like when I was sitting down thinking about superhero fights, I'm like, we were talking earlier about how so many of these Marvel and DC movies just end in this big CG morass. And that fight
Great
is like, it's a real fight. It's a fight you feel physically, emotionally, because of the history these two characters have. Like it's intense, and it's still super good. Like it's
It
been
looks.
what, 12 years since that movie came out, and it still fucking rules.
It's been a decade now. Yeah.
10 years, yeah.
It looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
Like it's not like your wire work or your your fancy superhero like stunt work. This looks like brutal old school action.
And I'll be honest, like
That's
if it weren't
a
for that,
great measuring stick.
if it weren't for that knife move,
Oh yeah.
I don't know that it would kind of be like a more mid-level fight. But that one move that
It
Buck
just-
uses
It brings the whole thing
puts
to
it
a
over
whole
the
different
top.
level.
Yeah.
You gotta appreciate somebody hitting a German suplex out of nowhere too.
That scene not on my list.
Like
Hmm.
when it
Yeah.
starts off, like when an action sequence starts off with a man getting pulled out of a car and thrown into a moving truck, it's like
Quickly followed by that same man tearing the steering wheel off the car that is currently being driven.
yeah.
And you're like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
Winter Soldier
Here's
was
some-
ruthlessly efficient.
Yeah, well, yeah, until you got neutered in later movies.
Right.
Geeky Cast Rye, was this on your list?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it high up
100%.
on your list?
Yes.
Oof, you hate to see it.
I'm not a fan of picking first because I have to wait the whole fucking time to get back to me.
Yeah.
And
Just
all
watching
these picks start getting ticked off my list.
That's why I prefer to be in the middle, so I can catch a little bit coming this way. I can catch a little bit coming this way.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a rough life being in that one spot. Chris, do you have any thoughts on the appearance of the Winter Soldier, the coming out party?
No, other than everything y'all have already said. Like I said, it was something that I almost put it on my list, but then I just got excited about other stuff. But that's a definite top 5 kind of superhero fight scenes for sure.
I agree. Good call, Brian. Satisfaction Jackson. It's on you, sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and take one of my superhero fights off of here too.
I don't like this trend.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick it from the same movie. I'm going to pick the elevator fight in Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That's
Nice.
the better fight to me. That's the
Also
one that's
very
on my
good.
list. Yeah.
Like Inglorious, that scene from Inglorious Bastards. There is a whole lot of tension even leading up to that fight, where
Yeah.
Cap's on the elevator. He doesn't know what's going on. He's looking around at Rumlow and some of the other guys, and you feel that tension. You see the guy just sweating and everything because he knows something's about to go down. And Cap is just like, okay, enough with the bullshit. It's like, before we do this, anybody want to get off? Last chance.
Nice
and then
chance.
it just goes down.
Yeah.
Like,
Awesome.
and it's brutal because it's happening in such a confined space.
Close
Yeah.
quarters combat.
Sometimes
Brian,
I forget
question
that
for it.
sometimes I forget that scene is not just a meme.
Yes, it
It's such
actually
a
exists.
ruthlessly efficient meme too. What's your question?
I got a question for you, Brian. Of the two possibilities, which is the better sweat trickling scene? The one here in the elevator, or the guy in Total Recall who knows he's about to be shot in the face by Arnold?
Ooh, yeah. I got to give the edge to Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Always give the edge to Verhoeven.
Well,
Pete would back
here's
you
the
up on
thing,
that.
Pete Bott says edge
Yeah,
to
the dude-
Verhoeven.
The dude in the elevator, the worst was going to happen to him was catching an ass whipping. That dude, the other dude in Total Recall, he knew he was done. Like,
It was bullets. It was bullets. Geekcast Rye. You
Yeah.
had the bridge fight from Winter Soldier on your list. Did the elevator joint make your list?
Sure did.
Of course.
You betcha.
Well, you betcha. All right, then. Well, you know what? All this waiting, and we are back over to you to end round 2.
Yeah, and I got the wheel. Yeah. So I
Yes,
got
and you'll
the first
begin
pick round 3. I'm actually
Yeah.
very happy. I got some shit taken off my list, but I'm gonna be okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick my first chase scene.
All right. Oh, okay. Second chase scene.
there's this moment in a very special movie near and dear to me where the T-1000 drives a big black semi truck onto the LA River,
Oh,
and that truck all but breaks apart as it's
No
getting
way.
its wheels underneath him. And Eddie Furlong's on like a dirt bike, and so I'm picking the chase from Terminator 2, the semi truck chase from Terminator.
Damn.
Yeah,
That
I
was-
had it. I
that
had
was
it on my
on the
list as the canal chase from Terminator
Yeah.
2.
The canal
Yeah.
chase. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would work.
Yeah. That was a culvert chase. I'm not sure what the fuck a culvert is, but I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's
Wasn't he that guy who used to come out sometimes on David Letterman?
Culvert.
You know, the little guy with the big glasses.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was Larry. That was Larry Bud Melman.
Yeah, okay. I don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. Then.
Larry, and I know that because my great grandma Beer looked just like Larry Bud Melman.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just the more you know, the more you know.
Grandma Beer.
So the T2 chasing, T2 being considered one of the 5-10 best action movies of all time, I would say.
Yeah.
Chris, was this on your list? Did you go to T2 at all for your drafting of
Not-
this list?
I did go to T2, but not for chase scenes. I don't know. So just to be, I assume that now I gave my hand-to-hand combat scene. So I'm done with hand-to-hand combat scenes, right?
Nope, it's 2 per.
Oh, so it is 2. I didn't know if those were backups. Then I'm not going to say
Yep.
anything.
Okay. Oh, he's got some
Oh,
shit in
I'm
mind.
keeping my mouth
guys.
shut.
strategy.
I think I know what I'll be drafting next. So other T2 things might be on your list, is what you're saying. We'll leave it at that. Cool.
Let's pretend I didn't say that.
But pretend, nope, we don't know what you're talking about. Brian, did you was this on your list as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was my like I said, I called it the canal chase.
Oh, that's right, you did.
And it was about 5 chases in. But honestly, I got to be honest. I think every chase I've got on my list is high quality.
Yeah.
So
I felt the same way.
Like I'm waiting. I think I'm gonna wait on chase because I don't feel the pressure right now. I think I'm in good shape. Like they're all rock solid.
Yeah.
I called it the canal chase, and it looks like I left the C off for some reason.
That's a different draft we have next week coming up, sir.
I think that's the next season of The Boys.
Oh my god, it's perfect.
Diabolical. All right then. So Ryan, what is your second pick, sir?
I am
With the exception of wild card, at least one of every category has been taken.
This will be my first face-to-face fight
Okay.
that I'll be picking. And I know something that you don't know.
Oh boy, here we go.
I am also left-handed. I will be picking the chatty duelists from The Princess Bride.
Wow, good
Nice.
call, sir. Good
Well
call.
done.
Didn't
It was
even
also one of the reasons I asked earlier about, can you have an action scene from not a action film?
I never would have thought that that's where you were going with that whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
I'm embarrassed I didn't think of it. That's great.
Me
I think that's
either.
fair considering we're
Sword
drafting
fight.
action movie scenes.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely fair. It's great because it does what action movies do best, and it reveals character through action, and you get a lot about Wesley and Inigo Montoya from that whole thing, and how they're both kind of good dudes and respect each other. Talk about it, Ryan.
Well, they're also, neither one of them is left-handed. So
There's
you also learn that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
You did-
what made you think of
Ryan, you
this?
picked Matrix 2, didn't you?
I did not pick The Matrix, no.
Oh, who picked Matrix?
I did.
Jermone picked the Matrix.
I did.
Okay,
I
well,
picked the
I was-
shootout.
I was gonna say those are two similar scenes in that if you watch that either of those movies, you watch it one time, you never forget that scene. And it doesn't matter if you're an action fantasy fan or not, you always remember those scenes if you watch those movies, whoever you
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Brian, do you have the Princess Bride Criterion, sir? Is that part of your collection?
No, I still have my like Gen 1 original MGM DVD release. I think you might have to flip it over halfway through.
It's
have to blow
Princess
into
Bride, Scarface, and Titanic are the only ones you have to flip over.
Yeah.
The first time I went to my now wife's house to like hang out for the evening, right?
Mhm.
She was back home from college. She was with her parents. It was actually her parents' house. And she said, "Hey, why don't you come over and like bring a movie, and we'll just put it in the TV at my room, and we'll watch a movie. Bring a movie over, and I'm thinking,
Okay, Hostel.
What's I probably would have better luck. I picked The Princess Bride, thinking, this is perfect.
Sure, who doesn't like that?
This is perfect. She fucking hated it. It was a red flag, but
That's a red flag.
I pushed through it though. She's
powered through.
Yeah.
Can I have permission? Give me 30 seconds to tell a rabbit hole story, like showing someone a movie. It's really worth it. So when I was in high school, I went to hang out with my friend Mike, who would go stay with his like great grandmother, who was in her final days and was like laying in like a hospital bed in her living room. And I was like, well, I'll bring a movie over. And I was like, have you seen the Kids in the Hall movie? And I'm like, no. I love Kids in the Hall. I hadn't seen it. We neither of us had seen it yet. So I get there, and he's like, the VCR or DVD player, whatever it was at the time, is in the living room with his dying grandmother. And I'm like, man, I don't know what this movie's like. I don't know if there's dirty stuff in it. It might be weird. And he's like, she doesn't know where she is, man. Don't worry about it. So we put the movie on. He's like, I'm gonna go make brownies. And he gets up and leaves. I'm sitting there with this dying old woman. And the movie that I brought over to start, which I don't know if you remember, opens with a naked man masturbating to gay porn. That's the first thing you see. You see his butt on the bed. And I'm like, I'm sitting here alone with this woman. I'm like, please, Jesus Christ, tell me he's right. And she is in a coma and she doesn't know what's happening. And I kid you not, I hear, oh, Mikey, there's a naked man on TV. And it's I'm glad she put it that way, because it was technically worse than just a naked man. But yeah, so that was maybe one of her last memories.
I'm glad you could give her some last good visuals on her way out as she shuffles off her mortal coil. The last thing she gets to see. This Kids in the Hall, produced by Lauren Michaels.
Nice to meet you.
Please take me now, G. I'm early. I'm here. Before we move on, it's Jermone's next pick, but I have a very important question, Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
Is this a Jermone gaping blind spot for you, The Princess Bride?
Come on, man. You already know the answer to that question. You're gonna put me on the spot right now?
I was just asking a question, man. Just asking. Don't worry. We're gonna get there in the film school podcast.
Yes,
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get you clear to the
I have not seen The Princess Bride. I said it. Yes.
All right, sir. The next question.
Don't judge me. I see those judging eyes.
Been judging you for years, sir, but still love you. What is it's on you? What's your next pick?
Okay. Let's go ahead and go. I'm gonna go ahead and get a vehicle chase off of here.
Okay.
Like there were only like literally two came to mind. They were immediately thinking about this category, and T2 has already been taken. So I'm gonna go with the freeway chase and the Matrix Reloaded.
Okay.
Matrix heavy though. I like that.
We had two tricks for this guy.
It's gonna hurt you on the bye week, but I think
There's
great.
a lot. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There's a lot from the Matrix to draw from for this draft.
A ton.
Yes. But, nothing from Matrix 4.
There at the time there was nothing like that that freeway chase. There was just so much going on in that entire scene, like because you start off in a Cadillac or whatever, fighting in the Cadillac with razor blades and all this stuff and swords and all this and everything, and
albino yardies, Jamaicans, whatever they were.
Then somehow they get like Trinity and the rest of them get separated off there. Then there's motorcycles involved, and the agents come in with trucks and different stuff, and it gets wild. Then like Morpheus shows up with a katana, cutting up like Escalades and stuff, and, like explosions going off. It was just a wild thing. Just I think starting out, just knowing because they prefaced it with like one of the rules of going into the Matrix is like you avoid the freeway by all costs, and you actually got to see why. Because there's just like one of those there was just so much happening in there, and Neo wasn't even involved to the end of it. Yeah, that was the crazy thing.
I think. Thanks for that, Chris. I think the end of that scene where you have Michael from Lost is the operator of their ship, and the whole thing blows up, and then Neo flies through, and he says, "What is it, Morpheus and the Keymaker?" I think.
Yeah.
And he gives that triumph before he slumps over in his chair. He is the audience in that moment, because there's a lot is happening in that scene that really wears you out emotionally. Shit, there was something else I was going to
Or
bring up.
not to mention what Ghost and Niobe just showing up at the last second or whatever to save Morpheus from falling off the truck and all that. And
That's right. That's right. There's a lot of moving parts are going into that. And
I was gonna say if you followed any of the other Matrix media around that, because the end of the Matrix game actually has the stage where, because you're playing as Ghost and Niobe in there, they actually have the stage where they're like getting up to that point where they show up in the Charger or whatever to save Morpheus.
Oh, okay. It all ties, and that game is canon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all canon.
Oh, right on. Did anybody else have the freeway chase on their list? I didn't.
I did not.
Oh, either we're all smart or Jermone just pulled the sneakiest pull of this entire game. We will figure out what happens when it's time for voting. Brian, it's over to you, Mr. Martin.
All right. All right, I'm gonna pick face to face fisticuffs. And I am going to I'm gonna go with The Bride versus Ore Nishii.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That was in consideration for me too.
Yeah.
God, Oren Ishii, please just come kill me so I can die a happy man. Yeah. AKA what I like to call the Lady Snowblood fight. It is it's a good one. Chat about it real quick, Brian.
Beautifully shot. The whole movie, is just a slow build towards this fight. And as sort of like the final big scene of the of part one, I mean I think it's arguably a better like climax than part two had.
Yes.
It's just a really, really well done, very muted and understated fight, but wonderful thing. And you get to see Brain. Who doesn't like that?
Really, a weird prop. I'm not sure how the sword just cut the head, but not the brain through the head. But
right, her skull cap comes off like the monkey heads in Temple of Doom when they're serving the the dessert.
Maybe she had that much
gangster brains. That much with the sword?
Yeah, like kind of almost like filleting a fish.
It's a Hattori Hanzo blade. It's like it's just that good.
A well-seasoned skull cap.
Yes.
Chris, if you had to choose between this or the big Crazy 88 fight, which is one is big action, one is more personal, which I'm sure that might come up later on, but still want to ask this question: which do you prefer of the two?
It's funny because I almost always would pick the more narrative driven one, but I don't know. I actually do in this case. I like the big showy endlessness of the Crazy 88 more personally.
Right on. What about you there, Geekcast Rai?
The Crazy 88 fight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm there for.
he just put in the movie waiting for the Crazy 88 fight to happen.
Pretty much.
Just fast forward to it.
Right on. That's why these have chapters in the DVDs. One of the greatest inventions in home watching was chapters. All right, cool. That was you, right, Brian? Yeah. All right, it is back over to me. I think I better get a shootout real quick fast. I think my second one is taken or is safe, but the way Chris is talking, I don't know. He might have some sneaky shit in his back pocket. All right, I'm going to go with the John Wick 4 over the head shootout fight as my first shootout.
Yeah. Nice.
I had that in the contention there.
The apartment building sequence is how I had it on my list.
Yes, the dragon's breath. I was watching just watching videos on different shootouts on YouTube the other day, and someone pointed out something that I hadn't realized is one of those guys in one room gets hit with the dragon's breath shot, immediately lights up, stumbles into another room, and then Keanu comes into that room and shoots him again with the dragon's breath.
Oh, cool. I haven't got that.
The same poor red shirt gets it twice right there. It is in a action movie that proves that cinematography can also be beautiful, which a lot of action movies do, but this one just kind of took it to a new level for me. I really dig a lot of what John Wick 4 has going on. There's some fight scenes I think that go on a little bit too long, but this is not one of them. It just takes it to that top down like old Nintendo style looking type of action, and I kind of feel this way about Old Boy too. It feels like
Yeah.
a side scroller, you know,
Mhm.
and just a continuous, no breaks. Everything's going on. You got dogs coming out of nowhere and biting people up. It just has everything you want in a great action movie. It's never really confusing, like a Bourne movie or a Taken movie or something like that. It's all very fluid and it all makes sense, and it is just damn enjoyable. I love that fight. Does anyone else have anything they want to throw out there for that particular scene? Sounds good.
Yeah.
No, sorry, no.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, Chris, you're ending this round and beginning the next round. What is your first of two picks?
I'm gonna pick superhero fight, which I said already. I struggled with this one, but I'm running out of stuff that I feel like there's a threat of it getting taken. So I don't think anyone would take this one, but I think it's a really sweet fight. Is Doctor Strange versus Caecilius was how you said it? Where they're in the time loop thing and it builds up to him trapping him in the time loop and he just keeps killing him over and over.
Well, that's
That was Dormammu.
Dormammu. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay, Doctor Strange versus Dormammu.
Yeah, which like I said, I struggled to think of ones I loved, but that one I'm a big sucker for. Whenever you just put characters in a situation where you it's not just like you don't know what's going to happen next. You logically don't have any idea how they're going to get out of this situation. I didn't see that coming. I thought it was a really satisfying, clever resolution to that he would just trap him in the time loop, and it's a little bit of the like weakness, strength, weakness thing. So I just think it's a clever scene.
Yeah, it's the only superhero fight that I know of where the villain just rage quits.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much is all it is. It shows it's another action scene that shows character. Strange thought this through instead of just muscling his way through and use the tool of the time zone to his advantage.
And the conceptual nuclear weapon, it just something shows up at the end because I mean up to that point there's plenty of actual action. But yeah, up to that point, which for some reason now rabbit hole, I'm realizing how much that visually it's the only thing I remember about the Green Hornet. Was it Green Hornet? Not Green Hornet. Green Lantern movie was the ending where wasn't he like wasn't he like turning into weapons and stuff? I don't
Someone answer
remember
that question because I was
that
smart enough
sounds right.
to not watch this movie.
Oh yeah, it was really dumb.
Certainly sounds right.
Similar.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's
All right.
a mention.
Right on. All right. Yeah. Strange versus Dormammu. Good call. I had a different Strange fight on my my list. To be determined whether or not I take it or someone else takes it. Ryan, Geekcast Ryan, what did you think about the big fight scene between Strange and Dormammu at the end?
They had to end the movie, so
What
a better time than the end of it.
I think
what a better time than the end to end it.
Yeah.
Sense.
I think they needed something like that at the time because I know a big criticism of the MCU movies and just superhero movies in general were, like that third act CGI fight or whatever, where you're just like two dudes with similar power sets or whatever, just going at it. This was a really inventive way, to have a boss battle.
Yeah, agree. Just the same battle over and over and over again. Right on. Okay.
Because it took a few minutes for even Dormammu to realize what was going on. He was like, wait, whoa, what's happening right now?
He's already killed this guy a couple times. All right, Chris, what is your second pick, sir?
Oh, I'm going again.
Yeah.
Do I have to do it in the same category? Can I keep jumping around?
No, keep on jumping.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump to vehicle chases.
There we go.
This is tough for me because the truth is I'm gonna pick a movie that has 3 incredible chase scenes. It's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Okay. But because there's the great where they escape the castle, there's the incredible plane chase where the plane gets de-winged and goes through the tunnel and is beside him. It's so wacky. Yeah. But my favorite chase scene is the tank one where Indy is like stuck between the rock wall and the tank and his strap he's dangling there. That's just such a great sequence.
You got Marcus Brody with the pen is mightier than the sword, squirting
Yeah.
ink and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah.
Like one of my favorite things about Indiana Jones is the chase scenes, and I think that Last Crusade is just it packs a lot of punch of chase scenes.
Yeah, that it does. That it does. Jermone, what is your favorite of the Indiana Jones movies?
I think being like, because I think I was just coming up to watching them. It would have been like 84, so Temple of Doom.
Okay.
I kind of watched them out of order, so yeah, Temple of Doom was the first one I got into.
That's
I
your
almost put
sentimental
that
one.
chase scene.
The rickety cart chase scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. What about you, Ryan? Do you have what's your favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Probably Crystal Skull.
Ain't no way. Ain't
No.
no way.
Hot take.
No, I'm probably a Raiders guy.
Nice.
Yes, one of us.
Yeah.
I know I'm a Raiders guy. I do believe Mr. Martin is also a Raiders guy as well.
Correct, Amundo.
We got a chance to watch the concert play Raiders 2 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was last summer, I think.
Was it last summer? It was during the weekend of Heroes Con, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely last year because it was Heroes Con weekend, and I missed like half the art auction that night because I went to Raiders.
Yeah. I sidebar for you. I got to my seat. I was in the middle of the row, and there was like a family of 5. Those are very tiny rows. And there's a family of 5 that was right there, and I was like, "Hey, I'm past you guys," and none of them would stand up for me, just so I could get by. And I was like,
So it's taken.
I don't know if you heard, but I'm down the way, and they just looked at me like I was a fucking idiot, and I was like, okay, and I stomped on every single one of their feet purposely.
Good for you.
As I moved over, and oh god, that made me so mad. Good call on the Last Crusade tape chase. That was not on my list.
No, that's good. I do have an indie chase on my list.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and take the indie chase off my list before Brian can get it. Actually, hold on.
I guess I can't hope that everything falls into my lap.
You know what? No. I'm not. I'm not gonna. I think there's one above that I might go ahead and wait on. I'm gonna go ahead and get a superhero fight. Yeah, because I don't have any. I'm gonna go ahead and get a superhero fight off my list here. Spidey versus Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Nice. Thought about that too.
Yeah,
that was a good one. I was trying to figure out a way to use that as my vehicle one because of the train, but I was like, I can't really. Yeah, it's just a train.
Yeah, is that what's a train? What's a monorail? I've never learned what the fuck a monorail is.
Well, it's a monorail would just have one thing under, like a bar underneath it, and it's like riding on that bar.
Okay,
not like a track. It's like
this is above ground track.
This is an elevated train.
It only goes one direction.
Wait, can monorails go 2 directions?
Yeah, the monorails go back and forth, baby.
Wow,
that's a doula rail, but that's
a doula rail. That's something different.
So.
That's
Please mute your microphone, sir. Please just mute your microphone.
All aboard the doula rail.
The doula rail.
Pregnant ladies only.
Wasn't that a monorail that they had in Batman Begins?
Oh, each them at the very end where they're headed towards Wayne Tower or whatnot.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was.
Monorail.
I think that was a train.
I think the only monorail that really exists is Marge versus the monorail.
Yeah.
I hear those things are awfully loud.
The Spider-Man 2, I feel like it's one of the defining action scenes in a Spider-Man movie. Beginning with just Keaton and Aunt May trying to get along or something like that before Doc Ock shows up, all the way to the end of the train sequence where he's deep masked and it's like, oh, he's just a kid.
You have to go away.
There's no older than my son. Brian wants Doc Ock to go away forever. We all want Doc Ock to go away.
Jesus, this family. Don't have a family, guys.
You're too late, sir. You're too late. It is one of my favorites. Brian, it is over to you, sir. Next.
Okay, so do you remember who in the Spider-Man 2 they're getting the loan from at the bank?
No, I don't remember.
It's Joel McHale.
It's Joel McHale.
Oh wow, good trivia question.
Yeah, they're trying to anyway.
Jermone is why we won trivia games. It's not because of me. It was definitely because of Jermone.
I asked him when we saw him at GalaxyCon last year. I asked him about like Spider-Man 2 stuff going on. Like,
what do you ask? Hey, did you remember you were in Spider-Man 2?
no, I was asking if he
That
had
was
any
awesome.
Spider-Man 2 pictures or anything like to get any merch or whatever to get signed.
Jermone's got the wildest questions for these guys when we meet them. Like when he asked, we met Vincent D'Onofrio last year at GalaxyCon, and Jermone asked him about cooking those omelets.
Yeah, I said, did he actually have to cook all those omelets he made for that? They made for that scene, like.
I just got done writing a pilot for a show, and I homage that scene of Kingpin cooking the omelets in my pilot. I wish I could cook an omelet in real life. Brian, it is over to you, sir.
Okay. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna get a shootout because I don't have one yet. And I'm gonna go with the Django shooting the shit out of Candyland at the end of Django Unchained.
Oh, the Candyland Massacre.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brian nods. Ah, yes, I was there for the Candyland Massacre. Django versus Candyland. Yeah, same poor guy getting shot 3 or 4 times. Talk about
the
lawyer.
That was Candy's lawyer.
Yeah, it was Candy's lawyer.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's going to be a theme with a lot of these fights is like, it's the same as Oren Ishii a few minutes ago, that it's like this big climactic moment that you've been building towards. And then it just delivers on every level. Just like you've waited so long to see the sort of extreme violence. And then after the like the strung up torture stuff, you're like, I want to see this man just destroy everything.
I was a guest on a
that's
podcast.
the most satisfying version of any action scene. That is the heart. That's the gas in the tank of action, is to want people to get revenge.
Yeah,
100% agreed.
And
I was a guest on a podcast talking about this movie, and the conclusion is Tarantino probably not the person you want talking about these issues. But goddamn, if that movie isn't satisfying as a whole.
Oh, man.
Right.
It
right.
starts off from such a simple action, just King Schultz pulling that little Saturday Night Special out of his wrist and just popping Calvin Candy in the chest one time. It's like
one time. Geekcast Rye, in the pantheon of Tarantino movies, where does Django land for you?
Up there. I don't want to rank them. I don't want to rate them. That would seem unfair. It's up there.
To who or what?
To Tarantino.
Okay. He's a big fan of this podcast, by the way.
Yeah. No, it is boy, it's up there. It's a fun one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like as Tarantino's go, it's kind of a sleeper. Like, I mean, I think it's easy to forget how good it is.
Yes, it is.
What be towards the bottom of your list, Ryan?
What's towards the bottom of my list?
Yeah.
For Tarantino?
Wise. Yeah.
That's like saying, what's your favorite? Like, are you a tits or an ass guy?
You know what I mean? It's all
like,
a win.
Why not both? Pete Bot
1000.
I
have probably man, this sucks. I hate you for this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm gonna say probably
there's one right answer to this question, by the way.
It's Kill Bill 2.
That's also an acceptable answer. I'm not a huge fan. Chris, what's your top and your bottom for Tarantino's?
Oh, interesting. I guess top.
That sucks, man. What a question.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I guess it's probably Pulp Fiction, and I guess the bottom is Jackie Brown.
Oh, Jackie Brown.
I guess again,
Fair
it's like
enough.
it's not like I don't like that movie. I'm just trying to think of
it's like something's got to be at the bottom.
It's actually an easy question to answer because there's no wrong answer, and even if you say his worst movie, it's one of the better movies. I think.
I don't know. I think there's Death Proof is the correct
one. Death Proof. Okay, you're right. It's the one I didn't even think of.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
That's the worst one.
I recently watched a YouTube video where this dude ranking the Tarantino movies, and I had to turn it off immediately because he ranked Kill Bill Volume 1 at the very bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
That's rage bait. You didn't take it. Good for you, Jermone.
Good. That's silly.
It is silly. All right, Jermone, we're back over to you, sir.
I am
You
up.
have no face to faces, just so you know.
Okay.
You still got a shootout left. You still got a chase left. Superhero left. What are we doing?
Let's go ahead and do that face to face here.
Okay.
I could not do a action scene list or anything with any face to face or hand to hand fights without mentioning Bruce Lee in here.
Mm.
So I'm going to go with Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee versus Hans Henchman.
O'Hara?
Now, it's the scene when when Bruce sneaks into Hans' lair and all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
When the Cobra shows up and all that, and then somebody hits that alarm, and then Bruce just
The nunchucks come out.
He starts off because I think he starts off with fisticuffs. He gets the bow staff. He gets the little stick, or that gets broken in half. He gets the sticks or whatever. Yeah, and then he moves all the way to the nunchucks, and he just beats the hell out of just dozens and dozens of men.
Good call. Good call. He's sending the Morse code while he's still keeping his foot on the Cobra at the same time.
Yeah.
Brian, are you a martial arts dude at all? I'm asking.
Brian, you ever seen a grown man naked before?
Do you like gladiator movies?
Doing
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get that
Yes.
with kung fu movies, Brian? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What about
Yeah.
like the old school like 70s like bad dub joints? Is that up your wheelhouse or no?
No, I mean like,
I'm not saying this is one of them, but that ilk of
look, I'm an
martial arts.
original language kind of guy. So no, I don't really like watching poorly dubbed movies, which is I guess all we had growing up. But I think it's a lot easier to find things that are not poorly dubbed at this point because of streaming services and what have you. So but yes, I do like that. I I don't know, as far as Bruce Lee goes, I probably would have gone with the Coliseum battle.
Hey, there's still plenty of real estate left out here, sir. I know what you're talking
No,
about.
I don't have any Bruce Lee on my list, so I just, but I guess I could.
Yeah,
but
I
no,
guess you could. There is some Bruce
that's a
Lee
good
on my
pick.
list.
I mean, it's definitely a good pick, but I'm more partial to that Coliseum fight from Way of the Dragon.
Way of the Dragon with your boy. Mr. Elliott there. Do you fuck with Bruce Lee? Do you get down? What's your thoughts about Brad Pitt versus Bruce Lee?
Be water, my friend.
Oh, nice. Nice. It's kind of hard to refute that.
That was only seen in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I call bullshit.
Was it Brad Pitt versus Bruce Lee?
Yeah. No way.
He throws him into a car.
And it's just like that's gonna be the end of it. Are you kidding me?
People were so fucking mad about that.
It was funny.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
Brad Pitt, I'm glad you got your Oscar. All right, Ryan, it is over to you, sir. End and begin us, please.
Point of order.
Oh, here we go.
There was a superhero fight scene taken earlier, and I believe it was from Civil War.
No, Winter Soldier.
It was Winter Soldier. So it was the highway fight scene with Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Cap and Bucky versus Iron Man Civil War fight there in the third act.
Three-way. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take that as a superhero pick.
That was number 2 on my list. Thanks.
I'm going to get that out of the way since I don't have any superhero picks yet. I figured I'd take that.
Cap versus Tony versus Bucky.
Yeah, good pick. That was on my list too.
Thank you. It's a heartbreaker. Really is.
Oh yeah.
It is, and I'm 100% on Iron Man's side on this.
Yeah. Do you remember, guys, when we'd watch these movies and we felt something?
Yeah. You bet.
What was the last MCU joint?
Good old days.
The last MCU joint where we felt something, or the last one we got?
The last one we got
was the Marvels.
The Marvels.
The last one I really felt something was Guardians 3.
That's true. Yeah,
that is very true.
I felt a lot during Guardians 3.
I think that was Guns Intention.
Yeah, I can't even watch Guardians 3 again right now because it's heavy. It's pretty heavy, like emotional.
It's heavy material. I talked about earlier about gleeful villains, and there's some parts in the Marvels where you see Zawe having fun in that character. But yeah, big call on Cap versus now Chris. And what were you, Team Cap or Team Bucky when this movie came out?
I was Team Bucky.
You were Team Bucky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to
all right.
be contrarian, I guess.
I'm sorry, not Team Cap. Team Cap or
Team
Team
Cap
Iron
or
Man?
Team-
Yeah.
Oh, Iron Man. Oh, Iron Man again.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Geek Cash Rye, you were Team Cap, as you have the
You
Cap
betcha.
Shield tattoo. Brian, you are a Captain America stan from the beginning. I assume you were Team Cap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got to look out for your friends.
Even the mass murdering ones.
Were Tony and Steve ever really friends?
No.
Yeah,
What's
right.
the difference between the X-Men and the Avengers? The X-Men are a family, the Avengers are co-workers.
Exactly.
Very, very
exactly.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
They begrudgingly existed together.
Like Iron Man had an avenue to take this, and it was through HR.
led by Maria Hill somewhere behind the desk. Jermone, were you Cap or Tony?
I was Cap. Like,
Oh man, it sucks being the only Tony guy on this podcast.
I just think like, and now I understand.
That's right,
especially during that fight, I understand where Tony was coming from, but it was like the methods he was going about things was just like, I think Cap was right and protect. I guess he was trying to protect the team's freedoms and everything like that. I mean, he made the point there is like, what if there's a situation we need to get involved with and the government says no or whatever, and vice versa.
Very true.
But at the same time, I get it, because especially with that line that Tony said, like, because Cap was trying to get him to listen to reasons, like he didn't know, and he was like, I don't care if he killed my mother, like,
which is weird because his dad is also in the car and just apparently does not give a fuck about his dad. Right on.
I did agree with Iron Man about one thing in that movie, and that was not putting coffee grounds in the garbage disposal.
Oh, he's ran a bed and breakfast for bikers or whatever he said.
Put them in your garden.
That's where superhero movies live for me. That's the thing. Like if I'm not all that interested in the climactic CGI battles, they really live in the little funny moments like that. Yeah, that's what makes me really love the MCU.
Agreed, sir. Ryan, you have another pick, sir. Where are we going next?
I'm on the wheel. I'm going back-to-back superhero fights. We've talked about it a couple times. We'll never feel like this again.
Oh boy.
It's the Thor, Iron Man, Captain America versus Thanos fight scene in Endgame.
Okay.
I can guarantee we were all in the theater when Cap catches Mjolnir.
That was it.
Yeah.
That whole fight scene before right before the portals. Fuck, it's just something else. I'm watching it right now. I got it on my phone and I'm just
this man is actively doing his work.
I'll never feel like that. I'll never feel like that in a theater again.
I'll never feel like that as a human being again.
Yeah.
It's a theater like 280 people and they all needed a change of pants at the exact same moment. When is that ever going to happen?
It's
smelly theater.
It will maybe for the Cocoon reboot.
for those of us who weren't there when JFK was killed, the touchstone is what was it like for you when you first saw Endgame in theaters?
Where were you when you found out OJ was innocent? Where were you when you saw Avengers?
Math class.
Yes, I was as well. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. Jermone, over to you, sir.
All right, let's stay in that superhero bag.
Your second
I'm going to pick a scene from the superhero movie that was picked earlier. We're going to go with the airport fight from Civil War.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there it is.
Nice set piece there.
Yes, it is. Berlin, if I remember correctly.
Yes. That was everything we wanted to see in a superhero movie at that point. Just it's just that ultimate superhero fight, like just seeing people going toe to toe, just going at it. Just people like just Spider-Man showing up was just incredible. Like because they built to it, in the scene before with Tony Stark recruiting him and everything, and just seeing him like what Stark was just like, okay, enough of your shit, Cap, underoos, and he just swings in, takes the shield and all that.
God, I wish they'd left that out of the trailers.
Oh man, yeah, they really should have.
That was before they got wise about their marketing, but still, it's one of the greats. The first appearance of Giant Man.
Yeah, I even liked the banter going on between these folks, like as the fight is progressing, especially when the Giant Man thing goes off, and of course Tony's like, is anybody else in here hiding any fantastic powers that we don't know about?
So much good going on in that scene.
Yeah,
good call, sir. Good call. Brian, over to you next, sir.
I am gonna take. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get my second shootout, actually. And I'm going to take the hospital shootout from John Woo's Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to, but I don't trust paprikans.
I don't trust them either, but but God damn it. As Pete would say, sometimes you just gotta go with
your heart.
Yeah. You gotta go with you just gotta go with the thing.
You just gotta go with Chow Yun-Fat, blowing people away in a hospital, holding babies and shit. Chris, are you a fan of this movie?
Absolutely, yes. It has been a very long time since I saw it. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But it's been quite a while.
It's been quite a while for me. My thing is, I will watch every time I watch Hard Boiled. I also watch The Killer back to back. Every time I see them at the same time, so I always get them both conflated. But good call there, Brian.
Chow Yun-Fat, Tony Leung,
yes,
good stuff, man. It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. Chow Yun-Fat and the leader of the Ten Rings. Jermone, you got anything on Hard Boiled real quick?
Oh, I love it. I remember they were playing it. One of my first cons I ever went to in Pittsburgh. They had it playing in the anime room, and yeah, I was captivated.
Agreed. I was also captivated. Speaking of movies that paprikans don't fuck with, I am still gonna take a movie that I don't think they fuck with either. For my second shootout, I'm gonna go with the third act of The Way of the Gun.
That's a good one too.
Nice.
Yeah. Man, the worst thing about that is when I think Ryan Phillippe is the one that rolls over and gets that shard of glass in his arm.
He jumps into an empty fountain that's full of jagged bottles.
And I'm like, man, is that what Mexico is?
Fountains full
just
of
a bunch
bottles.
of broken green bottles everywhere.
It's like a Taylor Swift lyric.
Geek-Ass Ryan, do you fuck with The Way of the Gun? It sounds like you do.
Yeah, for sure. Easily maybe I say easily and maybe at the same time, one of the best first 5 minutes of film all time.
The best Sarah Silverman.
Oh yeah.
The dialogue there is exquisite.
Exquisite.
At work, I will probably say, want to do the man dance? First dance is yours.
First dance is yours.
Twice a week.
Good man. Hopefully no man dance occurs after
that. None. Because everybody knows it's just from The Way of the Gun.
All right, Chris, end this round and begin the next round, please, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to go with my other hand-to-hand fight. And I'm going to go with Chirrut Imwe versus Stormtroopers in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
And I mean, for a million reasons. Well, I mean, for me, I guess it's just a beautifully choreographed scene. But for me, the introduction in Star Wars of a character like that was simultaneously the most obvious thing, and then yet the thing that we never have gotten and never, I don't know, it's that thing of oh, of course you have a character that's all these fundamental ideas that go into the Force. You totally introduce a character that's our real world thing they're pulling from and then translate it closer to the source. I don't know, there's something about that being so, of course we need that I never would have put in a Star Wars movie potentially. That just rang so true for me in that scene. I definitely never forgot it. And then I went with the Force, and the Force is with me, like that, his mantra and stuff. It was, I don't know how else to describe it other than that, so obvious yet never expected.
Yeah, like making a character that's that much of a religious zealot. It's we should have thought about that. I love Chirrut. Like he's a great, unique Star Wars character, and
I would have
making him blind. I mean, let's always make him blind.
Oh, of course.
I would have loved to have seen a series with him and what's his name, Baze Malbus.
Yeah.
And Sheridan Bays as the Riggs and Murtaugh of Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, Chris, sir, your second pick.
So for our second pick, I am going to. I lost my note.
Shoot
Going
out a
with,
chase, superhero.
God, I guess.
Some
So
wild
I'm gonna
cards?
go with. Sorry, I'm organizing. Man, let me go with. So I'm gonna do that. No one's gonna vote for this, and it's because without the explanation, it's kind of meaningless. The reason that I pick, it's gonna shock you because people do not like this movie, is Thor: The Dark World, and it is a mediocre Thor movie. But the scene, the portal-based fight scene, everything that MCU would start to do from then on and continue to milk started in that climax. The meta sort of like dimension hopping thing that all started there, and that is all they have right now. And that started at the Dark World, which is, you know, not the best Thor movie, but I think it's an underrated scene for that reason. It's where they started doing this stuff.
That's the whole like third act fight, right?
Yeah,
Just
just
where they're
jumping
going
through
through
With the way
portals.
that everything's converging and everything.
Yeah. That is an interesting pick, man. I haven't watched Dark World in years.
Been a while.
I guess it's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
been a
great
while.
movie. But
Hey,
the
voting for this is going to go up after the video, right?
Right. I'm gonna put the video up first, and
So
then
Chris,
I'm gonna let the people vote.
you'll have a
Okay,
chance.
so,
You can
yeah,
make your
if you-
case.
I can
You
make
at
my
least have the
case.
explanation, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's you know, it's like how like I mean, I really like Black Christmas a lot. They're from the 70s. But for some people it's like it's so slow and they don't quite get, but the thing is, you without it, you don't get Halloween, you don't get the standard horror movies for the next forever. It's like Alien, you know, it created this new genre. Anyway, I think that as lackluster as that Thor movie is, they figured out a trick in that one that they have just continued to mill out.
You might have
Can't
bought yourself
disagree
some
with that.
votes there.
You
That's
might have
pretty
bought
good.
Maybe, all
yourself
right,
some
yeah.
votes there.
please, sir.
Said the fox with the tin cup. All right, then it is back over to me. Where do I?
That's the pimp Robin Hood Fox. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry for not correctly naming him. I got a chase. You and your tattoos, man. I got a chase. Face to face, a superhero. I'm gonna go ahead and get a chase. My second chase scene. Every time anybody talks about this movie, they automatically go with that chase scene, right? And it's Ronin.
That's on my list. The Paris chase.
The Paris chase.
Damn it. Terrible date movie, by the way. Just put that out there.
You need to start a whole
one.
podcast about terrible.
I could do terrible date movies.
Yeah, it's I went back, like I knew it was a dope scene. I went back and I rewatched it like 2 days ago, and it's way doper than I remember it being.
It's good.
It's her name Natasha McElhone, or however you
Yep.
say her name. She's just whipping that car all around. You see our Robert De Niro just looks so stressed when he's driving his car, just leaned all the way back, just barely moving that wheel. Jean Reno's not doing anything worthwhile in the passenger seat. And you got Jonathan David Price giving directions in the back seat of the other car. So much shit going on in that chase scene, and it is a good mid-budget movie that not a lot of people talk about in Ronin. So if you've never heard of that joint, and I'm going to try to find links to all of these scenes. So watch this shit.
That scene is definitely on YouTube because I watched it again this afternoon. And it is also Ronin's the first DVD I bought specifically to just skip to a single scene.
Was it the chase?
Like, yeah, it's the chase. That's why I bought it.
Okay, I didn't know if it was that or ambushing Sean Bean with a cup of coffee. Yeah, it is a good chase joint. All right, Brian, is back over to you, sir. Where are you going next?
I am going to stay with vehicle chases as well.
All right,
and I'm going to pick the asteroid belt chase from The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, okay.
Fucking guys getting jiggy with it over here.
Fucking guys getting jiggy with it over here.
Yeah,
that never even occurred to me.
I love it. Unconventional.
Yeah.
But not just, I mean, like normally a chase scene, you're dealing with like a single plane, you know, like just on a road. It's going straight. It is flat. There are cars everywhere. Now imagine that you are being chased and there is no road, and you can go in literally any direction, and those cars are all over the place, right? The ones that you might smack into, and then you get the asteroid chase. It's like it just kicks a traditional chase up to 11.
It really does. And I think the thing that really gets it there is that John Williams score as it's going on.
It's
That
I think it's
bum, 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 bum,
it's like the best piece of music in a all-timer score,
Yeah.
just everything. And 3PO's, the odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field are approximately 3,720 to 1. It's like
never tell me the odds.
Great, just terrific.
Chris, what you got?
Oh, I'm commenting on that or moving on.
I saw you unmuted, so I figured you wanted to hop in.
Oh, no, nothing specific. I'm just it's such a well done scene, and it's such a I mean, I guess everything about the whole movie is, but that's such a very specifically, like, you could write that right now in a movie that comes out right now, and it would be like, it's just, I don't know if it's ahead of its time. I guess it is a bit ahead of its time in that way. Just all the ideas of it.
Yeah, agreed.
The idea that like spaceships could be moving that fast through an asteroid belt. All cinema had up to that point were slow ass spaceships, and then Star
it was
Wars
like the
came
Battle
along.
of the Mutara Nebula the year before that. It's like, well, he doesn't know about the Z-axis. We're gonna move slow.
It's a great fight, but it's very slow,
Yeah, and it's in that same spirit that I think that the chase scenes in Indiana Jones. I mean, all that stuff is about, you're on this thing that might fall apart, and you're like sort of like putting a cap over the steam valve while you're trying to shoot people, that all starts there.
Yeah.
And they resolve the chase by flying into the mouth of a monster. So it's
as you do. Whenever it's humid outside and I walk it outside, I feel like I'm inside the mouth of that thing.
Oh, that's how it feels for sure.
Jermone, it's up to you, sir. What you got?
All right. Let's see here. That's pretty safe.
Man, deep in thought.
Yeah, let me go with. I'm going to take another face-to-face fight off of here.
Mm-hmm.
This is another great scene that came from a not so great movie. Let's go with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul and The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Duel of the Fates is on my list.
Face is on everybody's list.
Not on my list.
No.
Nope.
All right. Well,
Absolutely
the only reason to go back and revisit Phantom Menace these days.
It really
is. When that second lightsaber came out,
another one I wish they had not spoiled in the trailer.
Yeah.
But like that was the first time in that movie, or in the Star Wars in general, we saw that choreography get really kicked up, because most of the time you think throughout the rest of the movie they're just taking out droids, and Darth Maul faces Qui-Gon like very briefly on Tatooine. But when they finally just go at it in this scene, goodness gracious, like Ray Park, they got their money's worth out of Ray Park.
Yes,
really, truly, it's funny because I remember seeing it the first time and I was one of the ones that, like, I wanted to love it so bad, that Phantom Menace in general, that whatever they were showing me, I was loving. And so, like, the first time I saw it, I decided I like all of what I'm seeing here. But I think some part of me, the truth is, the first time that started to fall apart mentally, the crack that would grow was when it got to that scene, and I actually felt like, holy hell, what if this was the movie I was watching instead? You could feel it.
Yeah, and I love, because it starts off pretty good, but it really kicks up for me the moment after Qui-Gon dies, and Obi-Wan and Maul are just waiting between that laser shield to go at it. And like the second that laser shield goes up, and they just kick it into another gear.
I love how Obi-Wan does that, like, jump. He's like hopping. He's like ready to fucking go, and as soon as it goes up, he jumps into that first swing.
Yeah, it truly is a distillation of what is great about Star Wars, because you have the idea of how Qui-Gon did his thing where he's meditating, he's not moving, and Darth Maul is like a rabid dog, and then you get to Obi-Wan, and it's like, even though we're acknowledging what the Force is, and it's about being peaceful and not being showy, Obi-Wan's got to rev that engine a little bit, and he's just a little bit nod of the hat of like a teenager that's like, I'm going to throw down. And it's just enough because we got to have some of it.
Yeah.
Agreed. Right on. Good call, Jermone. Geek Cash Rye. your first of 2 picks, sir. You're still hanging out with the shootout. You still got a chase. You still got a face to face and your wild cards.
I think I'm gonna get a vehicle chase out of the way here.
Your second one.
Set to the fantastic sounds of the John Spencer Blues Explosion.
Oh, God.
Yes.
This would be the opening chase scene in Baby Driver.
Yeah. I have it on my list as bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Bell bottoms. Yep.
I was debating between that and Duel of the Fates, and I was like,
Good stuff.
It has think about Baby Driver.
It has everything you want in a chase scene. Slick driving. There's a great moment where he does like the car fully spins between 2 cars that are backing up in different directions down the alley, and he misses them both, and it cuts to a shot of John Hamm in the back seat, like shitting his pants.
Yeah.
John Bernthal just keeps looking at him like, for real, kid, you just did that. It's great movie, great scene, great action.
And it really captures what it's like to drive in Atlanta. So
I think it's one of those scenes that really establishes who Baby is as a character, especially starting out where, you got John Hamm and the rest of them coming from the heist and everything, and they're getting in the cars like, come on, get the hell out of here, let's go. And he's like, no, wait, I gotta get this music right and stuff. It's like,
yeah. Guys, I was iffy on putting that on the list. I know people associate that with Spacey. So I was like, oh, I don't know.
I think it's great because he gets run over in that shit.
You can watch him just get run the fuck over at the end. It's really great.
Yeah.
That's very
true. On him.
All right, we will see. We'll see how this does for you. All right, Rye, what's your second pick?
I think my shootout's safe. I know that's like a
what kind of nonsense do you have?
Famous last words. I'm gonna go with my face to face, my second fisticuffs. I'm gonna go with Dalton versus Jimmy in Roadhouse.
Oh,
wow!
When he rips his fucking throat out at the end, and then he drags his body through the fucking water.
Oh man,
that's a good pull. That's great.
I'm going Dalton v Jimmy.
If I weren't part of this,
I fucked guys like you in prison, I think is the line.
Yeah. If I were not partaking in this and I were voting, I think you would have just won my vote.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's the kind of stuff that gets you. That even though it's safe, the fact that you thought of that is like, oh my God, yeah, that's amazing. That's a good way to play.
I don't like this at all.
Pain don't hurt, boys. Pain don't hurt.
Good
that
stuff.
That is one of the manliest movies ever made.
Never understood.
You can smell the Drakkar Noir in that movie.
the biggest misstep of the Gyllenhaal Roadhouse is that they didn't have a Wade Garrett character. That's a huge swing and a miss.
Very true. Very true. Good call. That was your second, right?
That's my second fight. Yeah.
There, Jermone.
All right. Let me go get my other shootout off of here. The John Wick franchise, there's way too much to choose from that series of movies. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to pick a shootout from there. I'm going to pick from John Wick 3, the shootout with John Wick and Halle Berry with the dogs.
Yes.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
That sequence
was a consideration.
Incredible. It felt like a whole video game sequence or whatever, where you're like, it almost like felt like you could see somebody hitting R1 on the controller and the dogs coming out to do an attack from time to time.
Yeah, you gotta build up your special bar so the dog can come out and attack.
But I was just like, man, like Stahelski, man, this dude's got it, man. It's like who choreographed something like that?
Stahelski.
Yeah, the set piece was so elaborate, like that, like he had to get that like just bit by bit by bit. Like,
is he the best of Chads that we know of?
I don't know many others.
he is King Chad.
I went to high school with a Chad. Does that count?
Okay.
Or?
Is he better than Chad Stahelski or no? Way in here.
No.
Okay.
No, the best Chad. The best Chad was Chadwick Boseman.
Good point. Good point.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well done. And with that insight, Brian, it is on you.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my second superhero fight. And some of you guys have picked movies that you feel like aren't well regarded, or at least you don't like very much. and I think this is one of those. I'm going with the warehouse takedown from Batman v Superman.
All
right.
Boy.
That was on my list.
Mm.
That was on my list.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna see what happens.
Too.
I'm just gonna put it on there. Like, I mean, in a movie that I think is like, to call it a miss is being generous. That scene is pretty impressive, and I think it's a version of Batman people wanted to see for a very long time.
I feel like Zack Snyder woke up and he's like, I got an idea for a scene. I'm just gonna build it.
Build the whole movie outward.
All of this one scene.
It does. I mean, it's like, I think Zack Snyder is not a filmmaker. I do think he is I think he's a good idea guy sometimes. And I don't know. I don't know what to call Zack Snyder, because I don't think he's a particularly good director. I don't think he's a particularly good writer. But when he has a vision for something, like a thing, he can execute that thing well for approximately 5 minutes. And
Okay,
and
right
that's
on.
what that scene in Batman v Superman is. It's 5 minutes of very competent and efficient filmmaking from Zack Snyder.
I would I champion the idea of more dual directing in Hollywood. Like, if you get someone who's great in character, but then there's an action beat, hey, bring in Snyder for this action beat and let him film this shit. And all of a sudden you might have the dopest thing. Bring in Celine Song for the character bits, and then let Zack Snyder handle that action. And it's like fucking peanut butter and chocolate.
Absolutely. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good call, sir, on the thing that I was about to take. So I appreciate that. All right, then. So I'm going to get my second superhero joint, and I'm going to go with the Wonder Woman No Man's Land sequence.
Man.
Pandering. Oh, pandering Daryl over there. It's a great
I almost
scene.
put that. I almost put that.
You almost put that. Okay, but
It's gonna play well in Paprika. That's all I'm saying.
It is.
It will, and I also legit think this is a dope scene. From the coming over the trench, the first time we see her in full regalia, all the way to her kneeing a motherfucker through a brick wall and the whole thing collapsing at the end. It's so much good shit is going on in that scene.
And when the genuinely badass Wonder Woman theme drops in that moment, and this is before that Wonder Woman theme was so fucking overused and annoying to the point that I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, it's like every time she shows up, we're like, we know who she is. We know
who it is. You don't need to drop that fucking theme. But that when she steps into No Man's Land and that theme's drop, it's like, all right, you fucking got me now.
Up until that point, you don't even get the full theme.
Yeah. That scene is like, whatever it is that's valuable to us about superhero movies, that scene just personifies it. Like, it's a textbook. It's just, that's what it's supposed to make you feel like.
I think
it's pretty ballsy.
Superhero scene.
Pretty ballsy to drop your money shot an hour into the movie, and then you still have an hour left to go. Though I gotta say,
I know.
Which
Which
you get another little money shot with her in the blue dress and the sword.
Oh yeah,
out of her back.
That's a different kind of money shot.
Hey,
I think that was kind of that moment of hopefulness that that the DCEU definitely needed. Which was a kind of a rare moment for something Zack Snyder produced. Considering all the gloom and stuff that were coming out of some of his other DC outings.
Now, what is this? Uplifting? Get out of here!
Yeah,
it was inspirational. Like certain superheroes are supposed to be.
All right, Chris, I still like a Superman. All right, Chris, it is on to you for your first of two, sir.
Okay, so I was muted. So I think I'm definitely out of any of the ones that were in risk of being taken. I'm gonna go with vehicle chase. I'm gonna go with the Utah Get Me To meatball sub chase scene from Point Break. That begins with Utah Get Me To. I could, when I was a kid, he's saying I could eat the ass end of a dead rhino. And when I was a kid, I thought he was saying I could eat the acid out of a dead rhino, and I really didn't understand that. Turns out ass end of a different. But yeah, I love it because I think it is the first big chase scene that as a kid I saw and was like, this is, that moment, like, oh my God, this is the best chase scene I've ever seen. It was the first time I ever really thought that. And but I love it. It starts off small with them casing or whatever the word stakeout. And then it comes out of just like nothing, like total silence and just smallness. And then it explodes and you think, oh my God, this just popped off from a really cool car chase scene. And then the cars get in the way and it becomes a foot chase scene. And it's just, I don't know, it's the heart of Point Break to me, which is maybe for that scene, a movie I probably take more seriously than most people do.
Okay, right on, right on. I came to Point Break mad late, and I was like,
Oh,
"This is what people were talking about this whole time." Like it might be, we were talking earlier. It's one of those things. It's like if you come to it late, you kind of just miss that zeitgeist of it, and I think that's what it was for me. I was like, good movie, but maybe a little bit overhyped. Rye is kind of like if Sned's ever actually watched The Godfather,
He's gonna hate it.
He's gonna hate it. Yeah.
He's gonna say it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lose my shit. It's fine. He's gonna say,
oh God.
like, get the fuck out of here, guy.
God, that's your boy. All right, Chris, your second pick, sir.
my second pick is
You got a shootout and you got some wild cards.
Let me go ahead and jump to a wild card here.
First wild
This
card.
this could have been a shootout.
Yeah.
But it basically the scene where, gosh, I don't know. I struggle between one of my favorite action movies is From Dusk Till Dawn, and I struggle to. Do I like the? No, okay, sorry. I almost was gonna pick the climax of the standoff where they come in, but I think my favorite action sequence of From Dusk Till Dawn is where they discover that it's vampires, and that if you watch that movie for the first time going in not knowing anything about it, which I think I did the first time I saw it, and you get the shootout scene in the convenience store, and then when they get to the hotel later for the main sequence, the fact that you think you're seeing more of the same. These guys are crazy. Like I'm watching a movie about psychopaths. And then the fact that they start mowing these people down and they're vampires is just such a killer, amazing thing. And then that sequence goes on forever to just total chaos. So it's yet again, it's sort of an action sequence that has chapters.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going with the vampire reveal.
The vampire reveal, I'm going to settle on.
All right. Yeah. I think I also came into that not fully knowing. Just someone told me, like, hey, you need to go rent that movie and check it out. And I did. And I was like, oh, what the fuck am I watching? In a good way.
Yeah.
All right. Good call, sir. Good call. All right. It is. That was your second, right? Of this.
Yes.
Was it your first? No, wait.
That was my second. My first was wait. That was my first.
That was your first. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
So you should be starting a new round now.
Okay, yeah. So gonna go with shootout scenes. This one is based on literally one single beat of the shootout. It is the climax of the original Young Guns movie, where you don't know that they threw. Oh, are you serious? No way!
Fuck you, dude.
I never would have guessed
I
that.
said it 10 minutes ago. I said, my shootout's safe. No one's gonna pick Young Guns.
Young Guns, yeah. I would have guessed. Here. I thought it was safe. That's insane. Yeah, that you don't know Emilio is in the whatever chifforobe. What is it?
Where he yells out, "Hey, Pepin!"
Yeah,
Charlie
hey,
Crawford out there.
Yeah. God, that's so good.
Damn it.
The audience doesn't know either. That's so cool.
A late round snipe. I haven't watched the movie in only 20 years.
That is unbelievable.
As Ryan struggles to find another shootout
I'm
now.
Scrambling now.
Good call.
I was safe. I had the rest of my draft. I was on draft. I was just coasting. I had it.
That was not an offense move, but it turned out it was.
Oh.
Right on. All right.
No way.
It's over to me. I got a face-to-face or some wild cards.
No way, dude.
Somebody is salty.
Oh.
All right, then. So Chris, when I originally gave you a bit of a heads up that some things maybe you should shy away from. One of those things I said was Puppering, and some of them don't really like Tom Cruise. But I gotta.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta. I can't in good faith not have something about action movies, and I don't think we've talked about Tom Cruise at all
No.
on this draft.
No.
So on a face-to-face, I'm going to go with the bathroom fight in Mission Impossible Fallout.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
It's a fantastic scene.
And I mean, for anybody who doesn't like Tom Cruise, you could say, well, that's a Henry Cavill scene.
Yeah, that's a Henry Cavill scene.
The man
he's-
arms
that's,
like
that's one way of
shotgun.
looking at it. What did you say, Jermone?
The man cocked his arms like shotguns.
Yeah. I remember that
Yes.
in the trailer.
Yeah, just if I had something, I might be able to cock mine. I cock mine like pea shooters, BB guns, maybe. Yeah, it is a it
You're a
is a
spring.
great...
Oh, my joints absolutely make sounds. They just don't sound cool.
Crackle.
Goes off
Yeah.
like that pistol in the dude had in Harlem Nights.
My knees sound like a bowl of cereal.
Full of Rice Krispie treats. Yeah, I think it's a great fight scene. Henry Cavill's doing his thing. Tom Cruise doing his thing. The guy they're fighting against, that stunt guy, is absolutely a wild man as well, and it is one of the more entertaining and a pretty fucking good Mission Impossible movie and a good action movie all around. I think that's one of the highlight scenes. Mr. Martin.
I think I'm going to take my first wild card. And I felt this whole draft started as an idea to do an explosion draft.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Like just draft a bunch of cinematic explosions. And I want to remain true to that original concept. And my the first of my wild cards is going to be the first attack in Independence Day.
That's the only explosion worth mentioning. Like
Yeah, where they fuck up the White House?
Oh, the White House, the records in LA, all just the series of explosions
of landmarks.
Yeah.
Of landmarks.
That was, you know what? I think that was kind of like, especially after seeing what happened during the pandemic and everything, I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Those people that were up on the roof trying to greet the aliens when there's your stripper friends, so you don't go up there, don't do that shit.
Stupid little sign in the air.
Yeah. Like, what do you think the aliens would have blown up over Charlotte?
Well, it was the Avengers Tower that I pointed out to Jermone last night.
I think it would have been the Manifest discs.
I mean,
oh really? Manifest Records?
They're already gone.
No, I mean like in 1996.
Oh, 96, okay.
Yeah. The aliens came in 96, guys.
No, it would have been Carolina Place.
Carolina Place Mall.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Well, 96. Whoa. We might be talking about what was that mall? That's Eastland Mall?
Eastland Mall. Oh yeah, you gotta blow that one
destroyed that.
Yeah.
They don't have enough weapons.
They already did.
They've been outgunned. Man, take it on Eastland Mall.
You might be right. Good call.
Somehow they have shields stronger than us.
Let's get out of here, man. Let's go to Mars.
Would have been media play.
Would have had that music playing behind Bill Pullman, but it would have just been like, let's fuck up these aliens.
That saved, yeah. Okay, Jermone, it's back over to you, sir. You have a chase and some wild cards.
Go ahead and get this other chase off of here. You mentioned the Batman and one of your earlier picks for a chase. I'm going to pick another Batman chase scene here. Mm-hmm. The chasing from the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. The truck flip.
Yeah. Starts off with them trying to take Harvey Dent into custody. Joker shows up in a semi, just pulling out just random weapons and stuff.
Rocket launchers and shit.
Yeah, rocket launcher shows up. Batman shows up with the Batmobile or whatever. The Batmobile lost its wheel, and then literally like
the plot points.
We get the reveal of the Batpod and everything, and then
it's like one of those. That's funny because that Christmas song is kind of like you remember the rap in Ghostbusters 2?
Yeah.
Like it explains the plot of the movie. It's
the
like
Run DMC one.
No, yeah, well, the Run DMC one, but I was thinking of the Bobby Brown one.
Brown.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna. Yeah.
That's all.
We got.
Yeah, the Batmobile lost, and the Joker did eventually get away.
Yeah.
Joker did eventually get away. You get the Jim Gordon reveal and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, I was debating that. Good call, sir. Good call. Damn. All right, Geekcast Rye, you're 8 and 9, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get my wild cards out of the way. Both of them.
Okay.
My number 8 in John Wick 3.
Okay.
And I'm he just happens to fight a bunch of guys in a hallway full of knives.
Damn it.
And that's the best. That's the absolute best of John Wick. If you take all of John Wick's action, that's the pinnacle of John Wick for me.
Yeah.
Axes and knives and swords and fisticuffs and it's all prefaced by like 3 minutes of him like retrofitting a gun to shoot one guy, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. Good, the bad, and the ugly scene.
But what I had written down as John Wick in the Hall of Knives is my first wild card.
See, that would make me question, like, would that whole opening sequence count as one scene, or because it kind of breaks down into several levels here.
Act one of John Wick 3 is like
just the knives, just the hallway of knives.
Yeah, just the knives edition.
Yeah, because the whole thing is him trying to get off the grid before his excommunication happens.
Yeah, because that scene comes after. Is that after the surgeon stitches him up real quick and he shoots the surgeon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good call,
it
sir.
is. I had the knife fight on my face-to-face list, and it was definitely the next thing I was going to pick. So good snipe.
Good. I'm glad I got out of the way.
All right then, sir.
Pick number
your
9.
penultimate. Yeah.
Yes. I think my shootout is safe. So we're gonna go with another wild card.
Already.
I know. I'm rolling the dice. My guy Bob Odenkirk fought some Russians on a bus in Nobody.
Yes.
And it's like 7 minutes of just brutality. And it's got everything you want in a dad genre of movies, right?
It is.
It's got like a dude who just is fucking over it. And he just beats the shit out of some fucking dudes who deserve to get their shit beat in. So I've got the bus fight in Nobody as my second wild card pick.
Well done. A surprising movie, that Nobody. And then that subgenre of old men in action, which I thought was kind of petering out, he comes through and delivers a solid one.
Yeah,
I want to see the prequel that shows how on earth Bob Odenkirk had a family with Christopher Lloyd and the RZA.
Yeah,
that is so random.
I just went as the Christopher Lloyd Strange Partners cinematic universe. It's him and Marty. It's him and the RZA and Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, I think they were trying to turn Christopher Lloyd into kind of a like hitman Professor X in that or something. That movie, that really is. So that was my first movie back after quarantine. And I will never forget the experience of seeing that movie, because it was however long since I'd been to the movies. I was like in the middle of a pandemic divorce. And I remember it was me and like this old couple sitting 2 rows behind me, and that was the whole occupancy of the theater. And as soon as the studio logo came up, I started crying, because I was just so in that zone. I hadn't felt it in so long. And Bob Odenkirk is just beating the shit out of people and blood's flying. And I'm like, and I'm like, get all this catharsis, It was one of my all-time favorite theater experiences.
Do you guys ever pick something on one of these drafts, and then immediately after making the pick, something in your brain clicks and you go, oh fuck, how did I forget about?
All the time.
All the
time. Like making a mixtape.
All the time.
I have so much pick regret right now.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
It happens. That was pick 9.
You have the Heat shootout. You shouldn't have regret.
I have pick regret.
You have the number 1 pick.
First, and then,
Yeah, get out of here with your pick. All right, Jermone, it is on you, sir. Your first wild card is
first of 2 wild cards. See, this is like, because your pick just kind of made me think about something else, but I might not pick that until later. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm surprised that we really haven't touched Kill Bill much outside of the Oranishi battle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go the Bride versus Renita Green. The opening scene from Kill Bill Volume 1.
There you go.
Oh,
Solid.
that's a good one. Good kitchen
That's kind
fight.
of another one of those that kind of sets the
Good
tone
kitchen
for the
fight.
whole movie, because up until that point, you don't know, you don't really know what things are going about out, what the movie's about outside the cold open, but it just gets it going. Like, just imagine somebody just coming to your house and just starting to beat the shit out of you just for seemingly no reason.
I love it. I dream of a day where my doorbell rings and I open a door and Uma Thurman is just there to whoop the shit out of me. I cannot wait for that day. It's how I plan on going out.
And just like it's a brutal fight. Like they both look like they had just been fucked up after that.
Agreed. It's a way to throw you into the movie and you got no idea what the fuck's going on and you're immediately.
And then we get that little Ironside stinger before, it starts out whenever the bride gets angry.
Whenever she's about to Hulk out.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a dude who started dating the lady that I was sweet on when I was stationed in Korea. And whenever I saw those two walking around together, that's the music that would go through my head. Okay, Brian, it is on you. You have a face-to-face and a wild card.
Man, now I've still got too many face-to-face options. And I'm really just between two.
Uh-huh.
I am going to go with Yushu Lin and Jen Yu's sword fight from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Face to face.
About time.
Yeah.
Because there is no Crouching Tiger on anybody's list.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's an Oscar winner. I mean, you gotta.
Yeah. What did it win its Oscar for?
Was it Best Foreign?
Yeah.
Was it Best Foreign Language? Okay.
Yeah.
Sound mixing.
Probably.
Definitely not. Yeah, one of the better fights in that movie.
Great fight. I mean, like two expertly trained martial artists just going at it. It's in a scene filled with really cool sword fights. That's another one that manages to pack a lot of emotion in.
Yeah.
It's a good rematch too. It's like a round two because they had the fight earlier where she's masked and you don't know it's her.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you get that, okay, now the gloves are off.
Yeah.
I really feel like if Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was released today, like I think they would have, the Academy would have completely reevaluated that as far as nominations.
Yeah.
I think
we're in a different world.
In there.
Fun fact, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, why I failed calculus class in college, because I kept skipping class to go see that movie over and over and over again.
Man,
also, fun fact,
awesome.
I don't have a degree. All right, it is over to me. Jesus, I guess I just have my two wild cards left. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the end of Rogue One, where Darth Vader shows up.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Solid pick.
Yes.
No notes.
Darth Vader versus hapless fools. It's the everything from the being lit by his lightsaber.
Yeah.
As he draws it coming out of the black, out of the shadows, and it finally puts an explanation as to why those fools are running scared at the beginning of New Hope. Is they just saw some shit and they are trying to get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. And it makes what is one of the better opening action scenes, I think, in movies in A New Hope, and it puts purpose to it and makes it even better.
Yeah, I think that sequence is to Rogue One as the opening of Pixar's Up is to Up. Like there's people that'll tell you their favorite Pixar movie.
That's a good
my favorite movies. Yeah, my favorite movie is Up. And you talk to them and you immediately realize you're talking about the first 5 minutes of Up. You're talking about a short film that is the first 5 minutes of Up.
Right.
I know people that say Rogue One is their favorite Star Wars movie, and after I talked to them for a few minutes, they're talking about the last 10 minutes.
Darth
of that
Vader
movie.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice movie all around, but like you don't see that coming. Like Scarif blows up, and you're like, well, I mean, we kind of know what happens from here. That sucks. And then you get this little tag on at the end of the movie, like, oh shit, I didn't see this coming.
You know what it reminds me of? Those rebel soldiers in that sequence remind me of any of like the Monarch's henchmen on like Venture Brothers when Brock Sampson would come in. And
Yeah.
like, Brock would have their head in his hands and he'd shove his thumbs into their eyeballs, and the guy would be like, no, 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 no.
Oh, one of
I
the
would
most
say-
underrated characters on television is Brock Sampson.
As much as the toxic fandom has like just shitted all over the Disney era Star Wars, one thing they have done was made like Darth Vader into just a terrifying force of nature. Like between that and Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan series.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
And lest we forget the Jason Aaron Star Wars comics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, dopeness. Okay, Chris, sir.
I only have one
Yeah.
wild card left. That's it, right?
We fucked this up. Shouldn't he have
I don't
two?
know.
No,
No,
you should have two.
I've
'Cause
done everything.
I have a pick left.
Did he get 3 picks that one time?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Did I? No.
Like last time
Cheating
around?
son of a bitch. Maybe he did get 3 picks. All right. Well, what is your final
Maybe
pick,
I
sir?
Did
Your
he get
second-
3 picks and one of them was fucking Young Guns?
There's a flaw in the system. Yeah, we redo the
I'll allow
redo
it.
this.
I'll
We have to start all over.
It's
All right.
it's fair. I'm not even protesting it.
We're gonna start
have to
over and
start
no
all
one's
over.
gonna pick the same lists.
Yeah.
I got
Boy, we'll
plenty
hear
of
what-
backups.
So mine's pretty
all right.
simple. My other wild card is I almost put this in great shootouts, but I didn't. I didn't know if I'd be able to get away with it. My wild card is the Indiana Jones shooting a guy with a sword.
That's good. That's really good.
That's a good
That
one.
is a good one.
That was the scene. So when you first created the messenger group for this draft,
Mhm.
when we first started talking about like, okay, what's a shootout? The first thing that popped in my head is
Mhm.
that scene.
Yeah.
It's like, is it a shootout? And it like, yeah, it is.
He got shot out.
Right.
Yeah. It's one of those things where,
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard the story about how it was just Harrison Ford improv it because he had diarrhea.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, just gotta
But
keep your butt clenched. That
he
scene.
didn't want to keep working. But the thing is, and it's a subversive scene. But the thing is like, we were able to rattle off all of our favorite action scenes. There's many people on this planet that you're like, do you remember a single action scene from a movie? That's what they remember. The time it's like you said, you brought up this theme, your head goes to that moment. My dad he'll laugh about it. It's been however long, 40 years. He laughs about the idea of this guy brandishing a sword and then a guy pulling out a pistol and shooting him. It just, people remember it.
What did Tony Stark say? Is like the best weapon is the one you only have to shoot once.
Yeah, exactly.
So my dad did it. So America does it. It's worked out. Well, pretty well so far. Good call on that, sir. So what a hell of a list. You got the Inglorious Bastards Tavern Shootout. You got the Young Guns climax you might have stolen from Ryan over there. You got the
Looks
Tank
that way.
Chase from Last Crusade, the Point Break joint. Utah, give me 2. You got the Old Boy Hallway joint, Chariot versus the Stormtroopers in Rogue One, the Doctor Strange versus Dormammu. He's come to bargain. The Thor 2 whole third act fight, the From Dusk Till Dawn vampire reveal, and the poor hapless clown getting shot in Raiders of the Lost Ark. How do you feel about this list?
I feel really good about Old Boy. I feel better about it than I thought I would, because typically with these kinds of things, I'm real selfish, and I'm like, I don't care if I lose the game. I want to talk about this scene from Monster Squad. I tried to compromise a little. But I think I feel decent about it.
Feeling decent about it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right on, sir. That comes to me. I have my last wild card and so many good options left.
Yeah, you sure do.
Let me vamp for 2 seconds while I look at the rest of my list here. Do I go with that? That's gonna give me some votes. All right. I'm gonna go with the opening foot chase from Casino Royale.
That's a good one.
As my last one.
Nice.
Yep. It was between that and one more that I will reveal afterwards in case someone else tries to snake it. I mean, we didn't know we were going to get for this blonde Bond. We got that little tease of the bathroom fight in black and white beforehand, but then all of a sudden it's like the two different styles of the parkour guy, and then just straight brute strength, and a great way to introduce us to a brand new version of Bond. And fucking awesome.
That's the scene, right, where the dude goes like a gymnast through the small hole at the top of the drywall, and then Daniel Craig just runs right through the fucking drywall.
Yeah.
That's fucking rad.
And that's the reaction.
Yeah, that's good shit.
You to have. I'm pretty sure if you look at the script, it just says "good shit happens" in brackets, and they just figured out on the day. Yeah, you guys got any good ideas for good shit? Yeah. All right, Brian Martin, you have one pick left.
Are you going to go over your list?
Oh yeah, my list. My shootouts is the overhead John Wick 4, and the Way of the Gun, which is why I'm going to lose this draft because no one knows what that movie is.
Damn shame.
Damn shame.
It is a damn shame.
It is the Batman Batmobile chase and the Ronin card chase. My two face-to-face hand fights is the Raid 2, the kitchen scene, and the bathroom fight from Mission Impossible Fallout. The other reason I'll lose. My superheroes are Spider-Man 2, the whole elevated train sequence, and Wonder Woman's No Man's Land. And my two wild cards are Darth Vader versus those poor fools, and the Casino Royale foot chase. Nice. I feel all right. I feel that I will come in third place. Right. Brian, it's on you, man.
So my last wild card, you may have made a mistake going with Tom Cruise. I'm gonna follow you into that dark direction. This is again, there was no other place to put this, but it's like the most macho thing we've seen in probably 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go with the opening sequence from Top Gun Maverick.
What, him trying to break the 10 Gs?
Maverick is trying to break Mach 10 in that jet.
It was a great open.
Great open. Like, that just sets the pace for the whole movie. Like, if you went into that theater and you're thinking, yeah, how good is this going to be? How good could this possibly be? The movie tells you immediately it's going to be exactly this good. And it somehow manages to sustain it for like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Where are we on the theory that that's where he dies? Have you guys heard this theory?
I want to know. I want you to tell me.
The theory is he dies in that Mach 10 accident, and everything from there on out of Top Gun Mav is the final moments of his life, of what's going through his head. He had Jennifer Connelly, the lost love of his life, coming back into his life. You have him doing what he himself thought or was telling people was literally impossible with that 2-minute and 15-second which is what I would have drafted there, Brian. You have this nameless, faceless enemy all throughout. A whole lot of nebulous shit. The reconciling of him and Rooster, a little bit of catharsis there for some guilt that he was carrying around. The theory being that it was a lot of him, playing out what could have happened or what would have went right in his life. In those final moments.
Yeah, it's got some really good hooray for Shinji kind of vibes, doesn't it?
No animated on my list, unfortunately. Yeah. By the way, the studio that did the animation for Evangelion filed for bankruptcy earlier this week at the time of recording.
They have been flirting with bankruptcy since 1997. So I mean, just thank goodness we got what we did.
Thank goodness. I think the flirting with bankruptcy to buy Guy next.
I mean, the whole reason the last 2 episodes of the original Evangelion anime are just storyboards is because the studio is going bankrupt.
If we were close to Hideki Anno just coming out on the screen and being like, and here was what would have happened in these stories.
If you look over here, right here.
Yeah, right here. Here we have Shinji over here, and Misako over here. All right, Brian, your list. Your shootouts, sir. Django versus all of Candyland, and the hospital scene in Hard Boiled. You got the blood bag chase in Mad Max Fury Road, as well as the asteroid chase in Empire Strikes Back. Very good call. Your two face-to-faces, your hand-to-hands, Crouch the Tiger is Zhang Ji versus Michelle Yeoh, and that battle of the weapons, as I like to call it there. And you
Battle
have
of the
the Bride versus Oren Ishii.
Tora, Raikaba.
Your two superheroes, the bridge fight, in the Winter Soldier, Cap versus Bucky, knife flipping all over the place, and you have the warehouse scene from Batman vs Superman. Your wild cards is when the aliens showed up to wreck shit in Independence Day, as well as Top Gun Mav, him breaking the Mach 10. How are you feeling?
It's a variety.
Variety. It's a
I
list
just
of
like
things
I,
that you
I
drafted.
just want to find things that will appeal to the broadest range of people, and I have some women in there.
You
Got
do?
some Asians in there.
Not too many of them in Paprika, but yes, you do.
That's true. It's a kind of what's the deal with that anyway?
I've been trying.
Asians there.
I've been trying. I've been trying to get more women and more Asians in there, and it's failed in every aspect.
I'm sure pointing out Gainax's failure financially is going to really bring him in.
Hey, Asians, one of your most beloved franchises is folding. Jermone, you have one pick left, sir. Where do you go?
Last wild card, huh? Okay.
Last wild card.
Let's go ahead into the John Carpenter realm. We are going to pick. This is like when we initially thought of the draft, and when I thought hand to hand, this is literally the only thing I could even think of. Roddy Piper versus Keith David, and They Live.
Nice.
I think you just won the Pete Lentz vote.
Yes, he did, because Pete messaged me and said, "Make sure you draft that," and They Live.
Hell yeah, there it is.
It was like a 6-minute fight where one man was just trying to get a man to put on some goddamn sunglasses to see what the hell was going on. That was it.
Put these on.
And that fight just, oh my God. Like, I know there was a point where one of them was like just elbowing the other in the nuts and everything. It was just
Most Looney Tunes ass fight I've ever heard.
There was no choreography whatsoever. I really thought they got into a fight on set.
Yeah, film. We'll figure it out later. Good call, sir. Your list, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Satisfaction Jackson. Your shootouts are the Matrix Lobby shootout and the John Wick Halle Berry John Wick 3 joint. Dogs eating people's nuts left and right.
Yes.
You have as your two chases, the freeway chase in Matrix 2 and the Dark Knight chase scene.
Those are good ones.
Yeah. Two good solid second act action scenes there.
Yeah.
Your face-to-faces is Bruce Lee versus Hans Henchman in Enter the Dragon, and the Duel of the Fates with just John Williams chorus yelling in the background.
Those are just two big extremes there.
Your two superheroes is the elevator fight from Winter Soldier and the airport fight from the Civil War. Went MCU for both of those. And your wild cards, Bride versus Vernita Green, and They Live, the fight scene that everybody knows. How are you feeling about this?
Dude, after hearing those MCU picks or whatever, I was like, this might be pretty strong here. This might be pretty strong.
Are you thinking this is your draft?
I'm feeling it. Like,
you're feeling it? Okay.
I think seeing that Matrix shootout like right off the jump is probably going to get a lot of attention.
I think you definitely have the Pete Lentz vote secured, and so you've got like one absolute surefire vote.
Yes.
So
yes, you have at least one.
He would have been in, like something from Logan.
Yeah, I'm voting for you, so that's 2 votes.
All right, and speaking of which, Geek Cast Rye with the final vote of this draft, sir. Where do you go? Your shootout. What's left? Plenty on the board.
A lot left. But I think if I could get away with the technicality.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Boy. No, listen. It's not my pick.
WandaVision.
It's not my pick. But there's the scene in Tombstone where Johnny Ringo and Val Kilmer meet. There's never anything exchanged, but they had the little tete-a-tete.
Yes.
If you could count that as a shootout, I'd pick it, but I'm not.
A verbal shootout, but not a physical shootout.
Right. So it doesn't count. So I'm going to go with when Doc Holliday kills Johnny Ringo in Tombstone.
Okay.
By Johnny Ringo, you look like someone just walked over your grave. You're no Daisy. The whole thing. this time it's legal when he shows the badge.
With the badge, yeah.
So I'm gonna go with in a movie where you could pick probably 5 different shootouts. I went with that one instead of the OK Corral or instead of all the other ones. The one at the river.
Way to get out of that one.
I'm going with Doc Holliday killing Johnny Ringo as my final shootout.
I had on my list of shootouts Tombstone, but I never narrowed it down.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do anything from it.
I only had 1 Western on my shootouts. 2, if you count the Wind River shootout, and the 310 to Yuma third act where
that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I had Open Range on my list.
I saw that on
another good one,
but I've never seen Open Range, so I was like, I don't know what's going on here. But
that's
put it
real
on
good.
watch list. Geekcast Riot, your list, sir. Your shootouts, you son of a bitch, you got the Heat shootout. Also, Doc Holliday killing Johnny Ringo. Your chase scenes is the T2 motorcycle chase and the Baby Driver opening scene.
Ooh.
Your face-to-face joints is the sword fight from Princess Bride and Dalton versus Jimmy in Roadhouse. That could go any kind of way. Your superhero joints is Cap and Bucky versus Tony in Civil War, and Endgame Thor, Cap, and Tony versus Thanos. And your 2 wild cards is the knife fight from John Wick 3 and the bus fight from Nobody. How are you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling really good.
Those are good picks.
Then. Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty good.
As we wind,
I'll finish
down,
4th.
4 out of 5. We'll see how this goes. As we wind this down, Ryan, are there 2 undrafteds on your list that you were looking at that you didn't go with?
Yes. I really wanted to use the rental car scene from Days of Thunder as a chase scene.
Oh, never seen Days of Thunder.
But I didn't. And then I cannot believe I forgot both the bathhouse fight from Eastern Promises.
Oh God, that would have been good.
And I also forgot about the final 10-minute third act from Atomic Blonde.
Oh,
yeah. You talking about the stairwell fight or whatever?
Yeah, the whole apartment fight right at the end there.
Yeah,
I forgot about both of those.
That was on my list.
Why were you gesturing like this when you were talking about the fight scene in Eastern Promises? Is that a Freudian slip?
No, I was talking about Aragorn's penis.
Okay. Hey, when he kicked the helmet, he broke his penis in that scene.
I heard that.
Chris, do you have 1 or 2 choices that you didn't get around to?
I also thought about the Eastern Promises scene. I kept telling myself, I spent all day today being like, you didn't even think about Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's full of action scenes. And I was gonna mine that before I started, and I did not do that.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what to narrow that down to as far as a scene.
Yeah.
There's so many great. I guess the dildo scene.
I think either that or
the butt plug. I mean, the butt plug.
The butt plug.
Yeah.
Either that or that first fight with Wayman and the security guards with the fanny pack.
Oh, yeah, that would have been the one. I think that would have been the one.
Yep, that was the one that really, really hit you.
All right, Brian, are there 2 that you didn't go with?
Well, I was actually, for my wild cards, one of the things I have written down is the song "Hair of the Dog" by Nazareth.
What?
Yeah.
That one that's like, now y'all messing with us.
Oh yeah, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I was gonna throw that out there.
I wonder how you've only won 2 of these. And what else?
Hey, I didn't go with Nazareth's "Hair of the Dog." I also had Thin Lizzy's "Jailbreak" down as a possibility too.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Okay.
Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak. But the real choices that I didn't go with were the Desert Convoy chase from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that was on my list.
And the Rama and Andy versus Mad Dog the Raid Redemption fight. I went with Crouching Tiger instead.
Good call. Jermone, you 2 choices you didn't go with?
The bar shootout in Desperado, the opening.
Yep, that's on my list.
That I was thinking, and I was thinking Neo versus Morpheus in the first Matrix, the training.
Had that one on my list.
Short list
fighting Neo.
Now, when you mentioned the bus scene in Nobody, that kind of inspired. Like, I was thinking, like, can I fit in that bus fight in Shang-Chi in there somewhere? Like,
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Two that I didn't go with was the snow level from Inception.
Oh,
I was thinking about how to try to work that in.
I was thinking the hallway fight where the hallway was tilting and stuff.
Yep.
But...
Yeah, you're not gonna go wrong with either one of those.
Yeah.
And what else do I have on here today? Fucking arena fight from Gladiator.
I had that. I had Maximus versus Tigris of Gaul on my.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
where did where would was it Free Fire fall in that? Because technically
the entire movie
is a shootout.
I thought about it. I couldn't draft the movie The Chase as a chase scene. So
I was trying to think of something specific in Free Fire, and I was like, I don't know how to nail that movie down.
No.
Also, I don't think Pop Riggins would have voted for that. So that is the action scene movie draft, the dudes being dudes, aka Dudes Rock draft. That'll be up Father's Day weekend. So happy Father's Day for those of you who are listening to this right when it goes up. Provided I get that up in time. Geekcast Ride, where can people find you, sir?
Violentpress.com would be the website, and anywhere you listen to podcast, Geekcast Live, search for that. You'll find it.
You will find that indeed.
And Movie Podcast Weekly.
There you go. Mr. Gervais, do you have anything out there in the world to tell people about or where to find you?
Currently, I don't have anything I'm making right now. If you find me on Instagram, I'm always posting my art, my drawings. If you listen to podcasts, if you look for Dead Meat Pete, that's my show. Or you go to deadmeatpete.com. You can check out my show.
Is that MEAT or MEET?
MEAT. It's an audio drama show, Dead Meat Pete.
Dead Meat Pete. Excellent. Go check that out, people. Mr. Martin, where can the people find you at?
I do still have a podcast. It's
thank you. I was trying to lead you to the water there.
Yeah, no, thank you. You can find it on any of your favorite podcast listening apps.
What is they can find, sir?
It's called Oh Boy, a Time Travel Podcast. Formerly Oh Boy, a Quantum Leap podcast, but Quantum Leap got canceled, so we've shifted gears, and now we talk about things like Woody Allen movies.
Have you touched Predestination yet on this podcast?
No, we have not. We have a pretty substantial list, but Predestination is not something we've gotten to yet. We got to Time Cop. We did Time Cop.
Okay.
And then our episode this week is about Midnight in Paris. So that's where Woody Allen comes into it, but it's all about time travel.
I'm old enough for Time Traveler's Wife.
Hey, this is Midnight in Paris is the second in the Rachel McAdams is in love with a time traveler trilogy of the late aughts, early tens.
If you do get the Predestination, sir, let me know, because I would love to be on that, because it's a wild, wacky fucking movie.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen it before?
I don't think so.
Oh, just leave the podcast right now and go do yourself a favor. Watch Predestination. It is the most underrated, best. You cannot guess the ending time travel movie of all time. And also Time Crimes.
I know that one. That's on the list.
Excellent. I'll be listening to that one when it gets there.
It's on Prime, by the way.
What's on Prime? Time Crimes? Oh, it is?
Predestination. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, people. Please, everyone listening, go check that out, or watching, go check that out. Jermone, where can people find you?
Somewhere in the greater Charlotte area, but don't just stay the fuck away from me.
Carolina plays ball.
Fuck yeah, man.
Carolina plays ball.
Fuck away, man. I don't want you near me. Go away.
Carolina plays ball. One exit up from my occupation.
I gotta have this aura about me. That's all.
I dig it.
You can find him in the ether, off the grid, living with Tim Robbins from War of the Worlds somewhere.
Yes.
I'll be somewhere in an alley hunting down Tom Hanks.
That is it.
People will get that reference.
They'll get that reference. That was a surprising one from you, by the way. That's it for the Dudes Rock draft, man. We'll have this up. Hopefully you guys listen to it, enjoy it, vote. Until the next one, I got one or two more of these left in me. You all take it easy and have a good one.